Bitch in a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told her put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UBK rules. I make this like I can't lose. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, throw that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and with the speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. You can't do with them steps. Them niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look.
The city eyes. It's time to vote off. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, when tell them it's all true. Because it's that foundation voltage and fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fierce taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man. Dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans through a mall quad. Telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Focus stop, nigga. I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no bench. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems for it. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that stunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit Asian, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yahanna, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Bust their head.
ODing on a beat, you know I can't flow. We outside. We outside with us. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. That Glock loaded extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One West sleeve stretched, do it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing. Click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving Halo, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up. All cause my delivery, I be on that prime shit. Take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir, treat you like the Ukraine. Raise your little city, now you voting like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle. I got new aim, fresh kick, spit with the blick. Not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got the Ruger 5 and 7. That's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot. We take it outside. You run your mouth up in this door. We take it outside. I got my killers with me. You won't make it outside. Outside, outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this door, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly, be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog, this the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big burst of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty little combat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother how to bid, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this door, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. My Glock loaded extra mag and it's outside. It's one West for that bag and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this door, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, outside, and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, outside, yeah, we outside. There's one West on them corners and we outside. We outside, outside with it.
Backstage, backstage.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK, too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the sorrow and I show her. She could never get a priest hold. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spring. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. and you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road, boy. I charge an asshole fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UBK play for keys, nigga. Command to get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to damn kill you. I stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, here, fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bought it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Walk out every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stretch by that damn whole ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Backstage.
Oh yeah, ooh Lord. And if you don't give it, you won't get it. That's right. I give her all my love. Hey, run that shit up, Trace.
I came from the streets to the shy, where wicked and evil collide. If it was illegal, we tried ambition to get us a piece of the pie. Had so many demons inside, was dimming the gleam of my eye, killing my innocence. All of my vision, I'm reading the sign and seeing demise. We've been deprived the basic necessities, that and cocaine, a satanic recipe. Refusing to claim it as destiny, sins of the fatherly children in jeopardy. The family addiction affected me, affliction of prison, the death of me. Not even a thought of my legacy, living in hell, how you hating your pedigree. Been definitely holding the grudge, letting it go cause no hoe is in us. If we don't connect, then you know what it was. When West and no cowards is rolling with us. Steps was all in the mud, feeling the pain like salt in the cut. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love, yeah.
The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love.
I get an honor to Commander General Yahanna for being the armor, protecting the message delivered to Abba. Straight from the Father, he gave it to you, ain't making excuse. Though Satan is loose, kept lacing his boots, training and raising the troops. Perfecting the method of 7-1 West in the hands was able to prove. Ain't stressing them niggas that never can step in the stand and state in the truth. My people could never imagine the hardest of winners you blasted. Extending the realest compassion for niggas that should have been fitted for caskets. How could you ever ignore the nigga who slept on the floor and was ready for war? Whenever it called, better this weapon is drawn. Election is sure, edge in this war, front of projects of the Bronx. Now representing the law, the water for blessing us all.
Backstage. Backstage.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find.
He's the man that came up with the term African American. Right. From now on, we call African American. But now somebody run up on you and say we should leave this place. You turn to them and say, where we gonna go?
Right. They have the American flag and the symbols of red, white, and blue, but it's black people.
Right.
So it's not they're not repping who they are. Right. They're repping the country that they serve.
These leaders that don't care about their community, you know what I'm saying, that always, you know what I'm saying, just focusing on winning gold medals and championships and different things of that nature, and have no thought to the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. It's gonna come back at home.
Enough for hearing that happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, even Emmett Till was somewhat similar. It's like once something happens to a white woman, that's the justification to kill all niggas.
At the same city, at the same time as the Klansmen,
The Purple Boys had a mass march on the other in downtown, but blocks away, and did not cross paths with that.
Real Nigga University in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel, what's going on? Y'all already how we do it. Coming with you, you know what I mean? Y'all know normally Friday nights we rock it out, you know what I mean, 8 p.m. Central. But every now and then we like to do a Sunday morning joint, you know what I mean? And this one, of course, is going to be an extra exclusive special joint, you know what I'm saying? Because we got the man of the hour in the house, you know what I'm saying, which I'm about to introduce in about 2 seconds, you understand? So with that being said, of course, like always, man, we want to give it up to the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Yahanna in Hebrew, the God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian. And I like to always open up the show with that because we the only people, you know what I'm saying, that don't know who our God is. You know what I'm saying? We want to, when you go to Christianity, that's the God of the white man. Islam is the God of the Arabs. Buddha is the God of the Asians, and so forth and so on. But blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indian, we need to find our God.
That's right.
And in the ISUBK, under Commander Jenny Yahanna, we done found the God of the niggas, man.
That's
blacks,
right.
Blacks and Native American Indian. With that being said, I also got to give it up to our king. We do have a king. And, you know what I'm saying? Our king ain't sitting in the White House. Our king, you know what I'm saying, is Yahweh Shah Mashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? So-called black man from the tribe of Judah, you know what I'm saying, which the tribe you so-called Negroes come from, you know what I'm saying? He is the king of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right.
You understand? And y'all know normally, you know, when I introduce, I come after I say Yahweh Shah, I come to the man in the hour with the man with the plan, none other than Commanding General Yahanna.
That's
you understand?
right.
And what make it special is I got him sitting right here next to me. General Yahanna is held to set. You understand? Damn right. You know what I mean? So we got General Yahanna in the building, you know what I'm saying, today, joining us on the round table. Truth is always a special thing when we got the general in the house, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I also like to give it up to my host, to my right in here with me every week. I can't get rid of him, you know what I'm saying? He rolls with me everywhere I go. You understand? None other than Officer Lamar Yala in the building. You understand? And to my far left, he came off injury reserve, right? Coming off an injury reserve, he's back in the game. You understand? We got Officer Yara died in the building. You understand? And also in here with tonight, you know what I'm saying? The brother rocking it out with us every week. Officer Mayad in the building. Filling in for Officer Iwalam. He just went on injury reserve. Iwalam a little jammed up, you know what I mean? Brother got a little coffee dealing with or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna let him deal with that. And he got to get cleared by the, the medical staff before he come back. They got to get cleared.
Here we go.
That's right.
Here we go.
One show, brother was up here, had a couple coughs. The brother chastised me about this brother here. He had his head. He coughs, brother, it's no office. Filling in for Officer Iowa Love tonight. Officer Kazawan in the building. You understand? Big up to our electronical team, you know what I'm saying? Our technical team. Tech, there you go, our tech team. Officer Ramawan.
That's right.
Officer Raj Karab.
That's right.
So, John, what's new? What happened, sir?
So much going on. You know what I'm saying?
Like this is a fact.
Closer.
This is a fact.
Right.
Sir.
If I could, I first wanted to give a big shout out to the sisters, man.
Oh yeah, damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So how could I forget?
Lock us up with all this breakfast and all this good coffee. Appreciate it. And of course, man, I always got to big up you out because you keep your team tight, man. Your op be right. You know what I'm saying? It's such a pleasure to come out, man, and hang with y'all. I'm gonna stop coming out here, man, before I get myself in trouble. What's going on? What you doing out there all the time? So
please,
we gonna but you know how y'all run it is beautiful, man. So I'm really glad to be here.
Damn right. Give it up. Of course, John, it wouldn't be no round table of truth, you know what I mean, without Commander Jenny Yahanna, of course, you know what I mean, for holding on for this truth, but also Johnny Yahanna, you've been doing your own podcast for how long, Johnny?
Good while now. I think we started in 2007, something like that.
Now you got Wakan. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got a ton of brothers in the UPK got podcasts now. Who would know that podcasts would be such a huge thing? You was doing it before it was even popular.
Most time,
you know what I'm saying?
Thanks to Muhammad and my yacht.
Damn right. Big shout out to the general.
Damn right. Rod and his whole team, you know, man. We started the first podcast back in 2008 in General Mayak's son's room. Took it in the back room. We went and got a little amplifier. We got a little laptop. Little BS $25 microphone. We got on there with two people on there.
Yes, sir.
I said one's FBI, one's CIA.
We
went on and started teaching. Next thing you know, we took it to the school. Next thing you know,
yes, sir.
We just went from there. We got 6 YouTube channels now.
Damn right, John.
Bunch of other channels pumping. Brothers turning out clips and everything, and now everybody busting podcast.
Damn right, sir.
The Dog Hall on the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
So many, and then Shock jumped in and gave us a hand as well. Came in on Wednesday. You know, and it's just been rocking ever. Just the nation period, just been growing and rocking ever since. Blessing for us to see.
Yes, damn right. You know what I mean? If I may, John, I remember when I moved up to Philly, 2011. I used to always, watch through the internet. You know what I'm saying? But then to be there firsthand and sit across from the table, this was back when you had that table up there on the second floor.
Yeah.
You would sit in the middle. You had General Muhammad and General Mayak sitting up there with you at the table. You know what I'm saying? The water, brother. And they rock that thing out. You see what I'm saying? And I used to sit across from y'all, and that's what, prepared my mind to be doing what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one point in time, y'all had me trying to do the technical part of the joint, like a rubber one. They had me on the tech part.
You were running that thing.
Yeah, before a short second. Listen, Joe, that was the most pressure I ever felt in my life. Listen, because I'm sitting there putting buttons. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm acting like I know that. So then I remember one day you came to me, you said, hey, get your more quiet, moving forward. Captain Soccer War gonna be taking over. General, that was the most relief I ever had in my life. You was like, it ain't no problem. No, it ain't. Yeah, I mean, so I was grateful for that day. You know what I mean? That being said, General, yesterday, I want to give a big shout out to 290 Mo. The brother had a podcast award show. And that's what we have sitting on the table there. You know what I mean? In a short time, all these great brothers, you know what I mean, that work with me on this podcast, we received the award for community service. You know what I mean? And of course, that wouldn't be possible without your leadership.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? On behalf of Commander Jenny Yahanna, we humbly accept that award. You know what I mean, as well. So that was beautiful. And congratulations to all the podcast winners from last night, because I believe it was a few. UPK, we was in there strong, represented, you know what I mean, and it was a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
If I could, too,
please
Cap,
get down.
This was the vote of the people of Chicago too.
That's right.
So that's what make it so much bigger, because the people of Chicago understands that the ISUPK has gave the community the service that it needs, that it hasn't been getting. So, that's why I told Cap yesterday, it's a tremendous thing that he has us doing what we doing, and you have us doing what we doing. Because it's perfect. It's perfect for our people. So,
for them to recognize it, that's big.
Damn
right. So you gotta give it up for that.
Damn right. Get down.
You know, and the thing about it, all those podcasters, they're very popular around Chicago, and we promoted in there the very first time we went. You know what I mean? And so we went in there again to try to pass out to get all of them subscribed to and watch the Round Table of Truth. So, you know what I mean? And when they give us a chance to speak, the whole room gets quiet. Like they lock in and tune in on every single word that we say when we're in front of them. You know what I mean? And it's a powerful thing. There's one sister came up, she's like, I knew something about y'all. I knew y'all was special. When y'all walked in, you got a presence. You don't know that presence is the most high, them angels. You know what I mean? But when we come in, everybody heads turn. You know what I mean? Everywhere we go, Adawan, and that's because of the leadership and guidance that you provided for us, sir. And I want to say the water.
Damn right. I big up. Man.
Damn right.
Yeah, I appreciate it, John. If I could get a water, I can. Water, I appreciate it, sir. So that being said, I can. Where we at with the mom? Where we going first?
First up, we have a video of a white girl talking about basically calling out her own people.
Okay,
you understand, letting them know that like they on bullshit at the end of the day, whatever the case may be. Because sometimes the greatest thing to see is white people actually own up to the shit that they do.
Right.
You understand? Like when they understand that you are the problem.
Yeah.
You understand? Because there are some quote in quote out quote good white people out there.
Yeah.
You understand? But
that's a shame, gentlemen. When it ain't believable, unless a white man says they did wrong. We the victim. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We say, all the wrong that the white man done to us. This nigga go get a job.
Right.
But the minute a white man said,
it's official.
And then look, the black people look at the white people and say, see, something wrong with you. You sick. You know what I'm saying?
For saying it.
That's crazy. I mean, we are totally and mentally destroyed in here, but we don't even want white people to be charged with all the wrongdoing that they've done.
Right.
That's like saying a woman get raped and she's wrong for testifying in court. Right. You know what I'm saying, about what happened to her during the rape. Y'all done?
If I could,
please.
Sir, I just had a conversation with one of my cousins, and he's bringing out the fact that YNs is doing all these killings and different things of that nature. And we understand that, you know what I'm saying? We understand that accountability that our people need to take for the things that they doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? But what's being missed in this is where the white man plays a part in this whole scenario. Nobody ever wants to give the white man accountability for the things that he has done to make this society what it is, to create a white. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's heavy. That's heavy you saying that. All right, we ready?
History is teaching white Americans how white slave owners raped, beat, humiliated, mutilated, murdered, and cannibalized their slaves. Accurate history is teaching that George Washington's false teeth were made out of his slaves' teeth. Accurate history is teaching that Abraham Lincoln may have said some words and signed some shit, but he did not physically do anything to free the slaves. The white abolitionists also often get almost total credit for freeing the slaves. I bet you've never even asked yourself what the slaves were doing to free themselves, and the answer to that is most of the fucking work, including giving the ultimatum of war. But then we get a bunch of white people mad that their kids might feel guilty if we teach real history. It's not about your white child's feelings. Teaching accurate history isn't about white people's feelings, but that does sound like something that someone who's only ever been taught a white glorifying version of history would counter with. Ask why we ever felt like we needed to curate a false version of what white people did and did not do to black people to begin with. And then ask yourself why white ass politicians are verbally attacking real history by calling it slurs, which is by default also the act of calling black people slurs. Accurate.
Nice.
I see why you said she's a so-called good quote unquote white girl. That was a heavy slug.
No, go ahead.
No,
When you see something like that, see a white person talk about the crimes that they people done, what comes to mind when you see something like that? So
that their crimes are so bad that one of their own are outraged.
That's right.
Right. Like we saw one of our own go out and do something so heinous in front of the world, we would be outraged too. We'd be like, I know that's a heathen, but you ain't had to cut them babies up like that. You ain't had to, you know what I mean? We would be like, come on, man, you don't went too far. Even though we totally against heathen. So for her to come out like this, that means she looking at the crimes that they did, like y'all done went too far.
Yes, sir.
And it says something about us that we've been so brainwashed in this kingdom that is how heinous, as much as heinous as this is, we ain't angry enough. Like she's a heathen, and look how angry she is about it.
That's it.
we the victims she talking about, and it don't burn in us like it's burning in us.
Right.
You know what I mean? We so set on forgiveness. That's why the Lord said, why trimmest thou ways to seek love?
Right.
Thou hast laid thy body as the ground that they may go over.
Right.
We done bowed all the way down to the ground.
Yes, sir.
And they marching over doing all this evil.
Yes, sir.
And she looking at it in outrage. We
God.
down in the mud should be looking at it like what y'all doing to us is a damn outrage.
Right,
I
John.
mean, living under a government that the whole point of the government is for the rich to pay the politicians, for the politicians to get rich, and for them to make laws so that the rich can rob the poor. So the poor ain't got a shot. The poor, period, I'm talking white, whatever. Then on top of it, for them to make it so that we, the slaves, are even worse than the poor white people being robbed by their own government. And that's what made her outraged. So imagine where we supposed to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We supposed to be furious about it. You know what I mean? Not to go out there and sin, but we supposed to be fervent, full of fire when it comes to what's happening to us, especially right now.
Yes, sir.
Our brothers right now from the Latino tribe and probably from the other tribes quietly as well. You know what I mean? This piece of garbage is just dragging them out the country, doing all kinds of stuff. He don't care about no laws or what he's doing when it comes to doing it. It shows us something else too, that we real close to the end.
Damn right, John.
Now is the time to put our whole soul into waking up brothers and sisters.
Damn right.
Against
That's
this
right.
evil
Right.
place.
That's right. I want to say, General, like for so long, you know what I'm saying, the crimes of white America get swept under the rug. And the reason we know this because when we get to go to school with white people, you know, we fought to go to school with them, which of course you taught us, which was idiotic. You know what I'm saying? Go to school and integrate is totally against. Who would ever know that integration was against the Most High?
Right.
Like we grew up in it, so we thought, well, this is what the Lord wants. You know what I'm saying? They try to tell you that politics and schools and religion is separated when it's really not.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because to integrate us into white people's schools goes directly against the Most High. And I say all this to say that imagine a white teacher sitting in the school teaching you saying what she just said.
Right.
Well, you would say, well, goddamn, where I live at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meanwhile, we in school being fed a concept like we part of this place and not hearing about the crimes that white people have done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like what was the most interesting to me is how she say the Civil War, black men were the ones that really pushed it to where the North is the reason why the Union and the North even won is because of the black soldiers that took up arms and went to war. That's what she said, you know what I mean? So,
Thanks a lot, sir.
Please.
If I could, and considering that this weekend, every black person across America, you said Civil War, celebrating Memorial Day.
That's heavy.
You know what I'm saying?
Heavy.
We celebrating their wars, their victories, and we're the main victim of their wars. And their greatest victory has been conquering us. That's what put them on top of the world.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So we sitting here blindly celebrating and following them when every war they've had, from the Revolutionary War down to that war in Afghanistan that they just called themselves finishing a couple years ago, we've been a part of and been the major part of their success.
That's it.
And we get repaid by getting lynched, getting hung in our uniforms, getting mutilated while we're away. They take advantage of our women, of our children.
That's
they
right.
break up our households. We come back, can't get jobs, can't get that GI grant, get shot down in the street by police while in our uniform. Everything horrible that you can imagine. But we are so beat down and brainwashed in this country, in this captivity, that we take it and it's almost like as a people we enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? We still glorify them. We still throw on that American flag. We still try to celebrate their holidays and be accepted when everything they show us is that they hate us with a perpetual hatred, like the scripture says, sir.
Get it, brother. But that was right. If I could, John, please. I just like to acknowledge Captain DeBar Moth of Milwaukee. Yeah, this Wisconsin just walked in the building. You know what I'm saying? If you in the Wisconsin area or Milwaukee area, ISUPK under Commander Jenny Yahanna, we in Milwaukee as well.
Right.
So I say that to say you ain't got no excuse. You know what I'm saying? We in damn near every city in America. You know what I'm saying? So you should not, you know what I'm saying, bring yourself into the truth to get right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just wanted to say that. But what you were just saying, brother, was so happy. I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, seeing that Memorial Day is coming up tomorrow.
Right.
People, I'd imagine people would like to know, why do we push for Blacks and Hispanics to not celebrate Memorial Day and put meat on the grill like we've been doing for so long?
Right. Salaka. Got this good breakfast.
Big shout out to the sisters again for this breakfast. Yeah,
I mean, violate. But it's so important for us to resist the temptation of Memorial Day. Something we should resist anyway as Black people, Latino people, Native Indian people. We got to resist taking the little bit of free time that our slave master gave us and celebrating the things that he wants us to celebrate. I tell brothers and sisters all the time, it's difficult sometimes to make it to the high holy days because the high holy days is held usually on the day that we got to go to the slavery.
That's right.
So you're tired, you're getting off, you know what I mean? But you got to fight the demon and uphold the high holy day. Because if you uphold the high holy day, eventually the Lord will make a way where you won't have to be on that slavery. You'll be able to be freed up to just handle the high holy day.
Right.
But what Esau does, which is so smart, is he makes his high holy day a day that you get off and get paid for. You know what I mean? And why would he spend all that money across the country to give everybody a paycheck for that day that he give off? Is because what he knows that we don't know in our ignorance is that when you go to celebrate that Memorial Day, you taking on his gods, his desires, the things he looks at great. You eating that barbecue, relaxing in the yard, but what you don't know is you eating that barbecue, relaxing in the yard to his ideas, to the mindset of him, to the soldiers that died for his kingdom. You can try to lie to yourself and say, that ain't why I'm doing it. But that's really what's going on. And so Black people on days like that, here's what we should be doing. We should be making tapes about all the brothers that fought for us. We should be digging up the history about all the brothers that we should be memorializing. So nobody hardly even mentioned the Black Panther Party, or you know what I mean? And there was other ones. Remember that group that took Patty Hearst, the Symbionese Liberation Army, those was brothers.
Yeah,
and they were armed fighters against what Esau did. Not to say we trying to get brothers to do what they did, because everybody know it, even if they don't say it. They know the future is the ISUPK. Everybody know it. Even other Israelites. They know this is they know if you trying to go pro-Black, pro-Latino, pro-Native Indian, they know that you got to come in here because this is where it's moving at. This is where the spirit of the Lord is at. Everybody already know. Even though they could come on, please.
You know they try to steal our credit from us now on the video.
Yeah,
where the brothers was marching,
they stole it.
Yeah, they're not no knock on the Black Panthers, but we got to put the credit where it needs to be.
That's right.
It's a video of ours that went viral of brothers marching. Yeah, and they try to say this is the Black Panther Party.
Right.
Well, I got news for you. That was not the Black Panthers that you seen marching. That was the ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna marching. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Listen.
Salaki,
I saw the video. I called Muhammad up. I beat Muhammad up two times, man. Salaki, big shout out to Jeremiah.
Damn right, so.
I called him up. I said, man, what's this?
Right.
What the hell is this? Then let me look at it. I said, cool. God, because of course they tried to rob our credit.
That's right.
That ain't gonna happen no more. Cap McCod already told me he ordering T-shirts next year. Get ready, y'all. You gonna get the business. He said next year every cadet is gonna have an ISUPK T-shirt on, so it's clear who that is on that damn thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We so innocent and righteous in terms of getting the truth out. We don't think like a snake.
Right.
You know what I mean? That'll take our video of us stepping with the truth. We don't look at it like we would never do that. We don't take no IUIC tape or some other group's tape and try to use that for ourselves.
That's right.
We gonna stand on what we stand on.
Right.
So but we got to think more about how many snakes there are in the garden.
That's right.
And so now we'll just cover, because that's a good point you brought out. And it leads right into Memorial Day. Like, people who want to celebrate Memorial Day should been watching our tapes. You've been watching the work we doing. Memorial Day come, pick up the phone and call. Even if you just talk to a brother for a minute about the scriptures, about what we do. Like, you supposed to wake up on Memorial Day with a, how can I contribute to being pro-black?
Right.
How can I contribute to being pro-Latino?
Right.
How can I resist the deportations?
Right.
How can I, somehow point out what's been happening to the Native American Indians? How can I be a part of that? How can I? You might be a cat that, you got to work 7 days. You don't make it out. Or you might be a police officer, or Secret Service, or FBI agent. So you don't want all your business in the street. So you can't really present yourself. Remember, cats came to Christ like that. And when Christ was going to go to the cat's house to heal his soldier, and he said, nah, just say the word and it'll be done. Because he ain't want to bring Christ into his world where he know he's looked at in a certain way and he carry a certain power. And there's tons of cats like that. Remember, some of the Sadducees and Pharisees came to him secretly at night and told him how, they know that the Lord is with him. But they couldn't come out publicly. So, and then some brothers just ain't ready to make the jump yet, into the fire like we did. So even if you not, you can somehow push yourself, and this goes for brothers and sisters. You can push yourself forward. You can make a donation to ISUBK Chicago, or straight into the school at isubk.com, isubk.org. You can do that. There's a lot of things you can do.
That's right.
But we should be memorializing all the people that fought for us. You should be learning about the Underground Railroad. And something else that they don't teach that we should learn, if I could.
Come on, John.
We resisted this man thousands and thousands of times, all the tribes, in many, many ways. And he erases that history. He makes it look like we was always subject. But we wasn't. We always resisted this man. You can go back each decade and you got resistances going on. Another thing we should be looking at, and gonna wake us up, is we should be looking at tell us about them times in history where blacks and Latinos, or blacks and Native Indians, or Native Indians and Latinos actually came together to battle this man, or to defend themselves from this man. Let's stop. Like, if you go unbrainwash yourself, you're gonna have to get all the black history, not just Martin Luther King. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get all of it. You're gonna have to get. You know how many freedom fighters there was among the Latino tribes out in the West Coast?
Yes, sir.
You got to learn about the Chicanos. What was they doing? What was going on with them? You got to learn about the low riders. You got to learn about all them cats out west who was, pushing forward for their tribe.
Damn right.
You got to learn about all them Gatto, not just Geronimo. They love to put Geronimo alone, because once they got him, they just sat him on a reservation and used him as a trophy to say how bad they was until he died. Because he was one of the last ones to give up. But what about all them cats that was with him? That rolled out in them zones, that battled them to the end?
Damn right.
We should memorialize everything that went on with us. And here's the thing, if I could, last point, if I could,
get down,
we should also wash off this idea that we gotta celebrate us with them. Like the president is celebrating white supremacy and cutting us off right in front of our eyes. He just brought the white South Africans over in everybody's face while deporting our Mexican brothers.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like in our face. He ain't hiding it. He ain't hiding his love. So black people, stop listening to dumb, stupid black leaders that go for Latinos and Native Indians who tell you when they go low, we go high. So who the you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, who does that? Nobody does that. They go low, we go lower. That's what all nations do.
That's it.
When it comes to dealing with them. So we wash that off, then you can see the road towards loving your own, caring for your own. And something we teach in the UPK that do not get taught is that brotherhood is a weapon.
That's right.
You know, damn right. Like, just if I could, Cat, just looking, just making yourself obligated to your own people opens up doors that I never knew. To this day, doors of stuff is still opening to me that I didn't know could be done, but only by being obligated, only by like putting a law within you, which is in the law, but putting a law in yourself that I'm committed to these 12 tribes. I have to be right with them.
Damn right.
Even when nobody is looking.
Right.
I'm gonna still have to deal with them right.
That's right.
Even if it's a homeless nigga, whatever the case is, I got to deal with him right if nobody see me. I can't do no wrong. I can't rob them. I can't steal from them. I'm a worker. I come over their house. I'm doing some work for them. It's a black person.
Yes, sir.
I can't take nothing off their shelf or off their dresser. It's an old black woman. I can't rob her. Even though in the world I might have did that in the same profession. You take on that, brother, and watch what the Lord do with you. Watch how many doors open up to you.
That's right.
Watch how many resources. Like, we in a beautiful place where we gonna have to love each other to get through this, and we ain't gonna have no other choice.
That's right.
And do that, memorialize that shit.
Right.
My friend.
Captain Bob Moff, give him the mic.
I got it, sir. The water. Shoot us. First of all, Shalom, General Yabashishbrega Thumb. Yabashishbrega Thumb to everybody on the round table of truth, man. This is one of the heaviest podcasts I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to just to touch on what Commander Yahanna said a second ago about the Chicanos and the movement that they had back in the days.
Damn right.
In Milwaukee, you know, they still hold on to that.
That's right.
I don't know. Right now, that event that we did last year about the brothers, you know, flipping over the brothers' cart, you know what I'm saying, and how that almost got explosive. Just so everybody know, it was the Brown Berets that reached out to us. You understand? To stand in unison with us. It was those Latino biker gangs. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to highlight that because a lot of people might think that there's a bunch of friction between us, but it's really not. When we met them brothers, it was straight love, it was straight brotherhood, and they were also ready to put themselves on the line and stand with us in solidarity against what could actually happen, which could be an all-out civil war between blacks and Latinos in Milwaukee. So that was something that was heavy. I just wanted to highlight that because them brothers don't get enough credit on how hard that they work, you know what I'm saying, in Milwaukee, because of course us being able to work with them brothers, we see their dedication and everything like that. So we still in touch with them brothers, and you know, I just wanted to highlight that because they don't get enough praise.
Damn right. They see our power. They see how we roll.
Right.
They see it. They see what's happening before their eyes.
Damn right.
And they learning. You got to get with the UPK. You got to get with them brothers, and everybody should see it. And again, it should be celebrated what went on in the past. Another thing too, if I could,
man, get down, John.
For what, please? A lot of these groups, unlike the ISUPK, a lot of these groups had good intentions at one time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these groups became, especially gangs, they all evolved from trying to protect their neighborhood from Edomite. But Esau is smart. He'll send an agent in there and turn the whole gang around. You understand? Put them on to drug money, put them on to crime, which one dilutes them from the mission, and two opens them up to be taken up off the street. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why we here right here today. Let's don't act like these cats just decided we just gonna lose our moral compass, become drug dealers, and shoot each other up to death, and go to prison. That ain't happen like that. They gassing us up with that. These cats all started, and that's how all groups come together. I don't care what group it is. If you go back to the root of that group, it gets started with trying to help themselves against another enemy that got power to harm them. Then Esau come in and gas the thing up and send people, agents in, COINTELPRO, you understand, which he ain't never stopped. It's still going on.
That's right.
Even more so now because he got cell phones and the wiretap. He wiretap you from Missouri somewhere. And he wiretapping your whole crib.
That's it.
So that's what we should be going back to. And we should be putting it out there so that these gangs can look at it. The Lord could raise a man up in one of them gangs where he say, you know what? this ain't how we started. This ain't our roots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, Jordan.
This
That's
ain't
right.
our roots. Brothers coming here who come out of them gangs. What happens if they run into some of their partners in the world and they tell their partners, man, let me tell you what you don't know about our crew.
Come on.
It ain't that I left y'all. You know I got love for you. You know we banged together.
This
you know we
is
went
a
down
fact.
for the get down.
That's it.
But we lost our way. This is what we started at. Here's the history of it. This is where we come from. You know what I'm saying? This is where we started. And we got to try to find our way back to that.
That's
and
it.
still make money and still look good and still stand strong
That's
and
it.
still take care of our people because we missing the mark and we damn sure gonna need each other in the near future.
In the long run.
And here's what everybody should remember that puts their mind in. We was taught for years you couldn't fix us. We taught for years you can't do nothing with them gangbangers. You gotta lock them up and kill them. What did Hillary Clinton call them? Super predators.
Right.
All that shit was propaganda, man. We didn't know this until we start working in the Lord in the ISUBK. Now all of a sudden, all these brothers coming in. If it's so hard to turn brothers from the streets into the, why we doing it by the thousand?
Right.
So why so many brothers coming in here?
Right.
And rolling with everything we do? Why they giving up that life? So get the brainwashing off our mind. All our brothers want to come back. Nobody want to stand on the corner in zero weather trying to flip a crack rock for $500 a week, $1,000, whatever it is.
That's right.
He'd rather be doing it righteously and not have to look over his shoulder. And more so now because they looking to deal with criminals in a certain way now.
That's it.
So we get that brainwashing off us, put that motivation back in us. You understand? Break through them demonic lines and show our people what it was before. That's what you do in Memorial's Day. So
if I may, I'm coming to you, Yahanna. What you saying is so heavy because I can remember coming up as a kid, and I'm sure all these brothers could attest to this. Damn near you felt like, you know what I'm saying, you were meant to be evil. You understand? Like, I can remember as a kid, like, man, one day I'm going to prison. One day I'm going to jail. And we don't even understand, you know what I'm saying, how that plagues a young male's mind. I was born evil. I can't do no good.
Right.
If I can't play sports well, I'm going to the penitentiary. I know one day I'm going. And we don't understand, you know what I'm saying, the systematic oppression that we under when you make a child think like that.
That's right.
Like and there's no positive nowhere. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Which is why it's important that we must obey the Lord's commandment where he say, gather yourself together, old nation not desired. It's one of my favorite scriptures. You know, I damn near pull it every cap because it's very important, and we must understand as the Lord's 12 tribes, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, that we got an enemy, we got a common enemy. We are the undesirables here in America. Since we know this, why is it that we haven't come together?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why. Yahanna just brought it out because the white man has done a great job to try to show that there's no commonality between blacks and Hispanics.
That's right.
But everything is a commonality. Going all the way back to even the slave ships. Hispanics was the first one to get on the slave ships. Why don't you know this? Because the white man have done a great job of not giving you the education that you need to get. And in the ISUBK, you're going to get all the things, the proper education that you've been missing. Everything going to start making sense. You understand? To where you will understand there's no way that a fellow black man should be my enemy or Hispanic should be my enemy when the white man is doing all these different things that I can't see physically to destroy me.
That's right.
Now I'm gonna make him the focus. And I ain't talking about physically, but I'm talking about the spirit of him trying to destroy the brotherhood.
Right.
You can't infiltrate. Kevin McCall said in his rap song, we are not the Black Panthers.
Right.
Big shout out to the Black Panthers and everything they did in all groups. This can't be infiltrated.
Right.
Yeah, the UPK can't. I don't give a damn who you sit up in here. FBI, you didn't already try to send FBI. They turned into one of the brothers. You know what I'm saying? They say the hell with me being a federal agent because this brotherhood is just that intact. And I say the water to you again, Jennifer, for holding on to this thing. Because we just don't understand. We always looking towards a rich man for knowledge and wisdom. You see what I'm saying? When that ain't what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be looking for a brother that's humble, man. Commander General Humble is the most humblest brother that I've ever ran across. You understand? And he don't have to be. You see what I'm saying? Because he got the authority and power, but he's humble as hell. You You see what I'm saying? And that's what you need. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are done?
Yeah, I was just gonna piggyback on what the general was saying as
Please.
far as the leadership of these gangs and different things. Because like early on in the Roundtable of Truth, we did a interview with one of the co-founders of the GDs.
Oh yeah, we did.
Ike Taylor.
Big shout out to Ike Taylor.
Big shout out to Ike Taylor.
Right.
He's still doing community work to this day and different things of that nature. But when we were going over certain stories, what you were saying was so prevalent. I don't want with the COINTELPRO and just small things that infiltrated what they had going on to change it into something that's totally negative today that he don't even recognize.
He don't.
Yeah, Connor
Wow.
If I could ask,
and he back helping
Slocky,
he
sir.
back helping the community like he was in the beginning.
Connor
You know what I mean? Like while they took the group off, he had the wherewithal to try to come back to the right point. And all of them could come back to the right point. They act like blacks and Latinos and all of them. We can't come together. If that's true, then why we came together?
Yeah, right.
That's another lie that's out there heavy. Oh, blacks can't come together, Latinos can't come. That's BS.
Yeah,
we come together in a minute if we had the right reason. If we in the spirit of the Lord, if we know the mission and the mission is righteous. If the Lord put his spirit on us like he did in so many times in history,
right?
We ain't gonna never have no problem. What you're
right.
saying is right on target.
Damn right, sir. Damn right.
We should be memorializing that.
That's it. Right.
Y'all,
if I could just add on something you said about growing up in the streets of Chicago, like you said, you feel like, or any major city in America. You know what I mean? And now even in the country, you used to have a chance when you was down south. Now you go to Memphis and Greenville, Mississippi, and all these other places, and these are murder zones. They ain't even war zones anymore. But you grow up feeling like you even like me. I remember me and my homies celebrating what we call milestones because we weren't expected to live past the age of 14. Then we made 14, we celebrated. We made 16, we celebrated. We made 18, we celebrated. And once I made it to the age of 22, 21, 22, I felt like I had surpassed all the statistics and I actually was going to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as a young kid growing up in the streets of Chicago, man, you're out of here as a teenager. I had many homies that died. A lot of them good dudes that weren't even in the gang life, mistaken identity, theft, things like that. You know what I mean? And that puts an anger that put me out in the streets, made me violent.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Made me overly aggressive. You know what I mean? And getting into the things that I did when I was younger. You know what I mean?
Brought you into the same thing.
Connor with Khan. And then, like you say, you find out the history of the GDs. You find out the history of the vice lords, that they were community organizations that Esau destroyed. You know what I mean? It turned into criminal organizations. You know what I mean? Yeah. And one last thing about Memorial.
Please.
Donald Trump, the president that black people voted for more than any other Republican since Abraham Lincoln, has gone around the country and removed all of the evidence of our contributions to their wars. He's going to all the memorial sites.
Even on the website.
Even on the web. He done took it off the website. He done took it off your grave markers. He done took it off the walls. He done took it off the museums. If you are black, brown, because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have contributed to the wars all these years, he is systematically, slowly but surely, well, no, he ain't even slowly. He is with zeal going to every memorial in this country and removing our contributions to their victories in war, sir.
That is insane. That's a heavy point. Give it up.
It's a lot.
Come on, Lamar.
I mean, like, just thinking about like the society makes you think that black people just can never change and be better for themselves.
Right.
You understand?
That's right.
And that's the whole point of what police and justice are supposed to be doing. You go into the prisons, which they call correctional centers, to help us get back into the spirit that they were supposed to be in, quote unquote.
Right.
You understand? But really, once you in the pen, if you make it out, because it's such a hellhole in there, when you get out, they make it harder for you to get back into society.
I'd like to know why it's called the Department of Corrections. I still haven't figured that out. When the brothers is going in and being destroyed and homosexuality is running rampant, you know what I'm saying, through the prison system. But yet the white man calls it the Department of Corrections. Hey, y'all wonder why we call him the devil. Go ahead. I just had to highlight that. Go ahead.
Like the fact that like whenever we do get out, they make it impossible to even try to get back into society. You're a felon, you can't get a job damn near. They send you to halfway houses. You can't get a crib because it's on your credit report and everything like that. It's like that's why majority of people that are in prison, when they get out, they go right the hell back in because they have to jump back into the crime that got them back in there in the first place.
Right. Only thing they know.
Like you're not allowed to change in America as a black person because you weren't given a first chance.
Right.
You're definitely not gonna get a second chance.
Right.
Can I add something?
Please,
if I could?
Please.
What you saying is real heavy, Mark, because that spirit is what's supposed to be on all our entertainment. Like we, as blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we should be I don't give a damn about basketball people.
Right.
What we should be is, what is your record of what you've done for us? Like a black ball player should not even try to come before us to tell us about his stats as a basketball player. He's supposed to be coming before us to tell us how many homeless shelters he opened, how many rehab centers he opened. Like he's supposed to feel the pressure of, did you take your wealth and put it towards helping these people? That's what we like. That he should be under that pressure.
That's right.
Instead, you understand, politicians parade him around like, look at LeBron or whoever. You know what I'm saying? And use what he did in sports as who you should look at him at. And here's the messed up part. There's a lot of these brothers that's out there doing and have done amazing things to help the black community, and you don't hear none of it. You understand? You don't hear not a single thing of it. Like that's what should come up on Memorial Day.
That's
right.
You know what I mean? It should be brought up. So and so ball player, man. We celebrating him on Memorial Day because, of course, he has freed up, thousands of people from drugs because he built a blah blah blah, rehab center. Like instead they're gonna take how Tyler Perry got a house on that mountain. You saw that house? A $10 million mansion sitting up on a mountain, right? It should be shamed on. What should be looked at is he should be feeling like, I need to open up a $10 million rehab center. Right. You can't run out and get no drugs from nowhere. We're gonna come up off this and we're gonna get. That's the things we should be celebrating on Esau's holidays in front of his eyes. You understand? And you gonna see him get pissed the hell off.
Sir.
White man on Memorial Day should go to the beach and not see no blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians sitting out there barbecuing.
Right.
And let me tell you something, that will put a fear in white America like some people not
They'll
be like, we know this there and no niggas out here grilling, you know what I'm saying? Because I say that to say, that'll shake them because they used to you bowing your spirit down and joining them in their evil. And I'm telling you, as a certified prophet of the Lord under Commander Jenny Yahanna, it's time to separate for these people, man. You understand? Take your spirit away from them. You know what I mean? Where we going next, Lamont?
Come next. So we're gonna go into Papoose and the Remy Ma. They whole issues going on. So we got a video up. And the bro's gonna play real quick.
Well, before you play the video, Johnny, this story here is rocking the internet. You know what I'm saying? And it have been for a while. Get me right on this, Jared. This whole back and forth with this brother and his sister here. You know what I'm saying? Because she whored on the brother with another rapper. You know what I'm saying? And it's popular because of how well this brother treated this sister. And so I just wanted to highlight that. It's been all through the news.
It's about time he said something.
Damn right.
It's about time and he should know that, like all black men, we should all know it's your obligation. If you have fame and you have a voice and influence like the Lord has given us now,
yes sir,
and so many others entertainers around the world, you got to know that it's part of your obligation to breathe life into these brothers and sisters to stand on their feet. Like he ain't supposed to take that and be all quiet all this time. It's about time he spoke up on this $2 hoe. You know what I'm saying? And got the shit straight down, because that gonna breathe strength in the brothers to not harbor a hoe either. Like this cat going to therapy and forgiving this bitch and all that, and the bitch more arrogant after all of that. You know what I mean? When he need to be breathing the life in the brothers, you understand, not to put her in the suitcase, but to just cut her the hell off. You know
Please don't put these wrongs in the suitcase, because you're gonna be a detriment to the black community if you locked out. You understand?
Just last night, I got a call about 12 o'clock. A brother was about ready put her in the suitcase.
Damn.
I had to talk him off the ledge. You gonna bring shame to the truth. You understand? You gonna be gone. We need you. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I was at 12 o'clock pleading with the brother.
That's right.
I woke up this morning. I called back. Everything all right? I said, yeah, man, it was a misunderstanding. I said, thank you, Lord. Man, don't think a man of God, you understand, means you become a chump.
Right.
Right.
Man of God means you stand on the principle of dealing with a woman the right way,
Damn
no
right.
matter what. You know what I'm saying? And if you slip up under it, you go before the Lord and repent and get it back right the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right. Damn right.
That's what you do from there. You know what I'm saying?
We can go to the video if we could, Priest. Please.
It's muted.
Number you gave us has not been retained yet. Papoose, you have my lawyer's information. If you can't afford to retain a lawyer, since your lawyer that the number you gave us has not been retained yet, I told you I'll paper it. If somebody over there that loves you wants to paper it, great. That will make me happy. Everything is signed and ready to go. I don't want nothing. I'm not even asking for child support. My daughter's school, her babysitter, her nanny, her gymnastics, her swimming, her dancing, her healthcare, her all of that. I take care of it. Like I've always.
Better for worse, richer for poor, sickness and health, death to his part. And I lived that out. I did nothing but take care of you. Every utility in that house to this day right now is under my name. The alarm company called me today. You talking all this money talk, you just paid a cable bill probably within the last 2 weeks out of my account.
If you or a loved one.
Was that it?
Yeah, just tell me the video. So this is kind of like when you want to tune out.
And can I say something?
Please, gentlemen.
I see he trying to battle her, right? But he ain't going to the heart of it. He need to open up with "you's a dirty, stinking hoe." Right. That's what he need to open up with. But that's the real issue. The real issue. You haven't. They talking who paid the bills and who taking care of the kid.
Right.
The minute a woman becomes a hoe, she ain't taking care of no kids. I don't care if she thinks she taking care.
Right.
I don't care if she taking them to school every day. Or whatever the hell she doing. The minute you done went out and been a whore, you have stopped taking care of your kids. Because of course, you done put the greatest thing that your child could ever have, you just now put it in jeopardy.
Right.
Your child deserved to have a father and a mother.
Right.
The minute you go out and be a hoe, you done put your child's whole life in jeopardy, which means you are not no mother.
Right.
You are not no goddamn parent. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so eventually it's going to come to an end like this.
Right.
So you should have known from the time that you wore that you already stopped taking care of your kid.
That's it.
Like you think just paying the bills is how you take care of the kid. That kid gonna grow up as a monster if not for that brother fighting to get in her life.
That's it.
So you evil as hell. And many brothers have held themselves guilty for not taking care of their kids. That's once again, you got to breathe the spirit of life, into the 12 tribes.
That's right.
Like, you know how many brothers is walking around this country right now that do not see their kids,
right,
and have a deep guilt inside, like it's their fault that they not seeing their kids.
Yeah, right.
But meanwhile, when he was loving you and caring for you and down with you, you was a dirty, stinking hoe.
Right.
And you understand? And you expect a man to accept you as a damn hoe.
That's it.
Papoose tried to go even further and say and go, let's go to therapy.
They did.
You know what I mean?
He did.
He tried to
when she hold on.
You understand?
He tried to still work it out.
He tried to still work it out with her to not have to go through the pain that tens of thousands of blacks, Latinos, Native Indians going through from these bitches holding on them.
Right.
You understand? A bitch get with you and y'all have children. The bitch is a dog if she will not stick with you and you got babies to raise. Like she ain't even gonna put these babies over her own damn stinking ass. Like your stinking ass got to be taken care of when you got babies that need a mother and a father.
That's it.
And of course, you can't expect a man, well, for the sake of the babies, you stick with me. You are erasing his manhood.
Right.
That's
Right.
asking too much.
Right.
That's like asking your wife. That's like you coming home one day and telling your wife, listen, you know, I like you and all that, but you know, for us to stay together, I need you to dress up like a dyke. I need you to do like Sakari and get the, what they call that thing, the pegging in the ass. like, would you dare ever ask your woman to do that? And would any decent black woman, Latino woman, Native Indian woman, would any decent woman accept that bullshit?
Right.
Even them hoes he was with,
Right.
they was hoes,
Come.
and them bitches said, "Nah, we can't mess with you with that."
Right.
So how you gonna ask a regular decent black man, you understand, to accept the position of a homosexual in the relationship with you? That's what you're saying.
Right.
You're saying be a homosexual, don't care about the morality of our sex. I'm gonna have sex with other men.
Right.
You just be a faggot about it.
Right.
Come on, man. You asking too much.
That's it.
And you asking too much without recognizing the fact that your children need a father and a mother, and you should give up that shit with your nasty ass. You understand? Like, you ain't even asking for money or a house or a certain thing that makes your lifestyle better. You asking for him to be gay while all so that your nasty ass could be satisfied.
Right.
Fuck that bitch. Excuse my friend.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Come on, Lacombe.
Salakia, General. I got a question on Big O Live from Meek is Jazzy. He said, "Are women to be trained, and what scriptures can back it up? If yes."
Are women to be trained?
Kind of one concept.
Of course, you got to train a woman. How do you know you got to train a woman? Because you got to lead a woman.
Right.
If you before I even go to the scripture on, if you a trooper and you come into the Israelite school of UPK, do you just do what you want? No, you don't. Or in any military or in any order, if you go to a job. And let me tell you something. Even the question that he's asking is from many years of brainwashing. Because name anywhere that you go where somebody is over you that you do not get trained to do what it is that person needs you to do.
Absolutely, Joe.
You understand?
That's right.
I don't care what it is. If you go to be a garbage man, the supervisor gonna say, "This is how you get on the truck.
That's it.
This is the pail you lift up.
Right.
Don't pick up bags heavier than this."
Right.
You gonna learn something. And you're gonna have to follow them rules for you to carry out the mission you're supposed to do.
That's right.
Now you marry a woman, right? Now, do the woman come ready-made trained? If we got women wife training classes, of course we don't. She gets a certain amount of training, Lord allow, from her parents.
Right.
Then when she come to you, now it's your time to make your relationship cohesive. How you make yourself one, the Lord, and to add the scripture, because he asked for the scripture. The Lord said that you and your wife become one. How do you become one? You begin to teach her how life should be between the two of you. You begin to teach her what is intolerable. Because Lord knows in this time, women don't even know what offends you no more.
Right.
Like, women don't even know what's offensive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like women, I don't want to talk about me personally, but women, women got to learn that because a lot of times they don't know. And it ain't that they don't want to know, is that if nobody teach them. And listen, and let me add this if I could, Cap. I'm sorry I'm running. I don't mean to run. I had this coffee, this breakfast. I'm all jazzed. Every time I come out here, man, I ain't even got to get the tequila no more. Everything else keep me going. Let me ask you something, man. Let me lay something out that so many that Esau is diabolical. Esau is using people like Sexy Red and Gorilla and all of them to teach black women to be intolerant of being taught.
Right.
Be intolerant of being led. But meanwhile, that behavior is not acceptable nowhere else. Anywhere else in your entire life is that behavior not acceptable. You rent a house or apartment, that landlord got rules. You got to follow the rules or there's conflict.
Right.
You get a job, same thing. So the same is supposed to be in a relationship, but that's the one place that Esau teaches black women to don't take nothing, don't be led, don't take no advice, don't listen to nothing nobody says. Why? because that's the one he wants you to be that way with,
Right.
so he can destroy that family, destroy those children. So if a black woman, just like the wonderful sisters that come into UPK all over the world, they come into UPK ready to relearn life, ready to do what Christ said, become brand new. Second scripture for the brother. You understand? We all got to become brand new. Now, I'll give you the third scripture. The head of every woman is the man. The head of Christ, of the man, is Christ.
You want
Now,
somebody to get it, John?
huh?
You want somebody to pull over?
If you, it's up to you.
Yeah, we can.
Somebody pull it. But let me just say this on it, so we can get the understanding. Now, when we come into the truth and we find the scriptures and we find out what the Lord said, especially what Yahushua said, do we have to follow it? Hell yeah.
Damn right.
You understand? Hell yeah.
Damn right.
He told Peter, if you love me, feed my flock. He
Right.
gave him an order.
Right.
If you love me, feed my flock. This is the job I'm giving you. You ain't got no choice. Go do the job I'm giving you.
That's right.
He told Moses, the Lord told Moses, go get the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Come on.
Moses came back to the Lord and said, why'd you send me up in here just for this to happen? Because the Egyptians came up against him. The Lord turned around and said, go back in there and go get my people out of there. And he said, I'm gonna make Pharaoh resist hard. You go get my people up out of it. Did he have a choice? He had to follow them orders.
Right.
So once again, it's obvious in the scripture. It's obvious in life. The Lord put testosterone in a man, not in a woman.
Right.
The Lord made a woman with a weaker makeup physically than a man normally. You understand?
That's right.
Why did he do that? Because there's a chain of command in everything.
Right.
And only in a relationship, we all over the internet arguing relationships.
Right.
Only because of the white man's brainwash.
That's right.
Only because he's trying to mess up the lines on how that goes. Yes. Now, do it mean that you become a brute? No. You got to understand this, that you coming out the world too.
Right.
And you messed up too.
That's right.
A lot of brothers come out the world and you got horrible mental problems from your mama. Your mama left you in the room with rats and roaches. You had to starve. You understand? You went through a lot of mothers was horrible, horrible to you as a child, screaming and yelling at you. I mean, from the time you was 3 years old, beat the piss out of your spirit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Out of her anger and her frustration and her ignorance, a lot of shit like that happened. Some of you, your mom just fucking left.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? Ran off, or she was a whore and you saw her in the bedroom all the time with some strange nigga, and sometimes might have got in a fight and beat up with him. You gotta, as you come into the truth and become brand new, before you take on that job of being over that woman,
Come on, John.
you gotta recognize that you was fucked up too. Excuse me,
Right.
my friend.
Right.
And you gotta say to yourself, I know what you gotta examine yourself.
God.
I know what I went through and I know what I want. I want to be a priest.
Damn
I
right.
want to live this life.
Damn right.
But I know I can't keep my old man.
Damn right.
That's when you got to get counsel.
Damn
That's
right.
when you got to work on those things that you get in counsel.
Damn right.
You got to clean you up.
That's right.
You got to get the demon up off of you.
That's right.
And as you getting that demon off of you, you bring that sister on in and start showing her what's right.
Damn right.
You take a different example of yourself when it comes to her.
That's right.
You don't go simp and you don't go, psycho.
Damn
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, John.
Everything in his measurement.
That's it.
So to answer that brother's question, yes, you got to lead a woman. And let me say this, if you're not leading her, you're not doing what God said to do. Now you acting like a homosexual. I don't care if you don't switch your behind or whatever. But if you scared to tell her what you need to tell her, then you got a problem. You know what I mean? And you got to go back and figure out why you can't do that. You a lot of times, again, it be because you had a mother that when she turned up that voice from so young that you just melt inside with pain. And so now you done got with this sister and she turned her voice up and the shit crushed you inside. You ain't learned how to overcome that yet. And so it's a learning. You know what I mean? It's a learning. But yes, we gotta leave. For her life's sake, you gotta leave. For the baby's sake, you gotta leave. It's a lot. I yield.
Please. You want to brother scripture?
Please go ahead and read it out.
Khan. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. He's trying to get us to see this. Brother, that's who's leading us all.
Right.
We being led by Christ. You might have brothers that's in the work, doing the work in certain ranks and positions. That's all for our benefit to move forward in the truth. And that's a beautiful thing. But that brother and all the brothers, to the best of their ability, got to lead with Yahweh Shai first. You can't be no officer over officers and you leading with your own bias and personality.
Right.
And you can't also be a man that leads based on how everybody feels.
Right.
Because that could be misconstrued too.
Mhm.
You got to lead with them scriptures in every capacity, including with your woman. You understand? Read on.
Kind of kind. And the head of every woman is the man.
Is the man. And he said the man, meaning that man that she's with.
Right.
That's the man that leads her. And listen, and a woman will be so much better off if she could know that if I just focus on this brother, me and this brother, I'm gonna make something strong with me and him.
Right.
I'm gonna the stuff I don't like, I'm gonna work out with him. It's gonna get better. And you, like any relationship, even two brothers working together, you learn each other, you grow together, you find out your quirks, you knock off the stuff you don't like, you bring in what you like, you make it better. You become a team, you become one. That's what a sister in her most natural state, that's the best thing for her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sisters that's wise would know that.
Come
Sisters in the UBK, they learning that every day. But
come.
again, Esau teaching them to not learn that. Don't put no weight in no nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't need no money from no nigga. Don't do nothing that puts you in any kind of way in subjection to a man, because it's gonna be bad according to them. And in some cases it is because that man is also damaged.
Right.
But in the truth, as you come in the truth, you can fix all of that. Go ahead, Salaka, real quick.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is the Most High. There's the ranking order. And we just follow that. We're going to be good. So I hope that answers that brother's question. Damn right. Go ahead,
if I may, gentlemen, could 1 Timothy 2:11 be one of the scriptures?
Come on
too
with
as well? 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Cases closed right there. Let her learn it, yeah, man. When it comes to these scriptures, she should acquiesce to you.
That's right.
And you know what I'm saying? And you should also be getting counsel on, am I right on these scriptures? You want to be right on them as well.
Right.
And we do that. We don't got to have a whole lot of confusion. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. That was it on it, or was more?
It was a little bit. I want to do 12 or 13 if I could.
Please.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man.
Let me tell y'all, that is the one way to end a relationship quick. By you putting your woman over you and she become the authority, you are in essence saying, I'm gonna be gay.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You're making yourself a gay man so that this relationship could work.
And you're gonna end up with a peg in your ass.
Yeah, you're gonna end up like Sakara.
Right.
You're gonna be P. Diddy. That's it. You know, man. He had his mother in authority. See what happened? Sakari had them hoes in authority. That's what happened. You let a woman have authority over you, you are asking to be a gay man. You are in essence voluntarily becoming a gay man.
Right.
And if I could,
And the scriptures say, no effeminate shall enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, Wakana.
So you can let her rule you if you want to.
And I guess that would explain why so many YNs are living a homosexual lifestyle.
Right.
Not only are they violent, but we ain't talking about these YNs are also turning to homosexuality at record numbers. Why are they doing that? No presence of a father.
Right.
Not just the presence of a father, but a father that have the knowledge of the wisdom of the law, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? You can't raise a boy or a girl without a mother and a father both in the home.
Right.
This is why the Lord say a woman is bound to her husband so long as he liveth. So you understand? This is what the scripture says. That everybody claim to follow God. We hear you. You know what I'm saying? The problem is you ain't following God when you go and get divorce papers, you know what I'm saying, that the white man sanctioned. You bring it out all the time, General. Why in the hell do I got to go to the white man for permission to marry my woman in the first place?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Such an evil thing.
It don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? So, man, we got to turn back to the Lord. What you bringing out is extra heavy.
I'm right.
So, like Captain Bob, Mom, come on.
And it don't help when these sisters, they only look for a man that got some money, seeing that brothers is in a very impoverished state out here. So these brothers are already turned off because when they try to spit game to a woman, they look at them and be like, oh, you broke. You know what I'm saying? They go to the club in order to talk to a woman. You got to buy a section.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so they oppressed on all sides. They turn to homosexuality. It's just a bad thing out here.
Yeah. And once again, this is not us bashing black women, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing that black women have not received in the past 50, 60 years is correction.
That's right.
You understand? And the scriptures say the Lord, you know what I'm saying, whom the Lord loveth, he correct. So if you don't correct these sisters, you know what I'm saying? Like you see Remy Ma is a full-out narcissistic monster. How did she get like this? This is the question. She got like this because we are under the authority of white supremacy.
Right.
And white supremacy don't want you and your woman getting along. You dummy. You and your woman getting along means your sons and daughters will grow up, recognize the world around them, and become what? Revolutionary.
Right.
You understand? So you notice when the Black Panther and all them was coming up, shortly after that, what did they start? The women lens movement. Which tricked our black women into saying it ain't no black and white struggle. It's a struggle between men and women.
Right.
Now the black woman, in her mind, she been trained to think her and the white woman is together in a league. The white woman is the queen in America. You not the queen here. You see what I'm saying? This is her country. This is not your country.
Right.
This is what you don't understand. So how in the hell do you get convinced by a white woman who own 50% of the slave to become an enemy to your own goddamn man? And not only become an enemy to your own goddamn man, wiping out our sons and daughters through mass murder in the abortion clinic.
Right.
So if you get with a woman, man, that, and we talked about this too, General, that didn't have 5, 6, 7 abortions, what in the hell make you think she gonna have any love for you? She didn't kill 6 babies. This woman been robbed of her soul.
Right.
You understand? By the so-called white man. It ain't our fault.
Right.
We trying to give our soul back through the correction and the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High. I just want to say that.
Listen, what you saying is 110% right. You know what I mean?
So.
Like her not having no, you know, her soul being ripped out of her from all she's dealing with, and then now you gonna come back and try to fix her. She's got to her soul got to be fixed.
That's right.
You know what I mean? To bring her back into the fold, and then she can really deal with somebody. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you know what I mean?
Damn right, John.
It's a lot.
Ain't no sweat. Come on with it.
He was gonna finish that scripture.
Oh,
sorry.
What we going? You want to finish the scripture? Go ahead, finish
Because
that.
only because it's on right on the lines with y'all talking
Please,
about.
then we'll take the brother's question.
This
Go
verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
That's a great point that you brought out. Like you the one that can't be deceived. You the one that better not be deceived.
Right.
Because she's counting on it.
Right.
Like she's counting on you not being fooled. You
Right.
got so it's your job. Just like any manager, if you're a manager of a restaurant, it's your job to know everybody's job and to be able to give them the information they need to do their job.
Right.
The same applies to your woman. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to know what her job is and how she should be, and to be able to guide her towards that job.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Like that was the point. That was the mistake that got made. Eve operated outside of Adam and got played.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? People doing this every day on the TV, everywhere. She can't hardly go to the mechanic shop with her car without some motherfucker robbing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
it.
everybody's trying to fool her. Your job is to be up on top of it. How do you do it? If you don't know it yourself, you got a whole brotherhood to know how to do it.
Damn right.
That's how you supposed to be able to do it. You understand?
Right.
And now she, guess what? She's safe. And can I add one last?
Get down,
You
get down,
mentioned this a
Jenna.
little bit earlier.
Please.
You so right when you say this ain't to be bashing woman. Let me tell you something. I learned this way back when we was on them streets in Philly. Not bringing this out is bashing the black woman. Not bringing this out is foul as hell. Brother, let me tell you something. When we was bringing this out, y'all know the tapes with me. You know, I was tearing into these bitches' ass.
We could, General. Listen, Rumble Wife, y'all can get a tape with Jenny Yahanna correcting the black woman, and let's play that at the end of the show.
Come, most time, correct.
Please.
And listen, brothers in the truth over me was calling me up. Man, what you doing? You on that street bashing women,
right?
Talking about women like that. You got to shut that down.
Dang.
You got brothers in the truth was coming at me hard back in the day.
Dang.
And I had to sit down with them and say, wait a minute, y'all missing my point.
Right.
Come on, gentlemen.
They said, well, let's hear you. And then I sat down and explained to them why I was doing it.
That's
and
it.
then they got it like, damn, you know what? He's right.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
That's
like,
it.
what he's doing is the right, because going out to correct them is right to do.
That's it.
To not correct them is what's wrong to them. They out there going, they wilding out there.
Damn right. Damn right.
7, 8, 9, 10 abortions.
Damn right.
Right or wrong?
Damn right.
So
It's a fact.
they, not correcting them is right for them.
Damn right.
It's real care for them. You understand? Once again, if you scared or you can't correct her because of some abuse you suffered or something inside you, you got to get that shit right because it's your job to fix it. Your
right.
job to
Damn
correct.
right.
Who else she gonna go to?
Right.
You gonna send her to the white man?
Right.
It's your job to do it.
Damn right.
Now you messed up. You can't fix her, and you can't fix you.
Damn right.
Come on, it's our job to do it. So
And what's just so heavy, give it up, give it up. You know what I mean? I just want to say this, and then we coming to you to come like, and you better know we talking here in the IHBK, before you lay your hands on a woman and have sex with that woman, you better first examine in your mind and know, before I do this, I'm gonna make this woman my responsibility.
Right.
And this is something that we ain't taught coming up
true.
because the Christian church didn't failed us. The United States government, they didn't fail black men. They ain't teaching you nothing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So
So we
right.
don't understand the seriousness of sex. All we want to look at is the pleasure, but not the responsibility.
Right.
And in the UPK, you taught before you touch that woman, which is another man's daughter, you better know this woman, I'm gonna be responsible for this woman for the rest of my goddamn life.
Right.
Before you do that.
Listen,
You see what I'm saying? And now, when you do your examination, if you caught her and you see something within this woman that ain't right, then you say to yourself, well, I ain't willing to make this my responsibility here. Because this woman is a monster. You see what I'm saying? And so I just want to bring that out, gentlemen. You know what I mean?
Can I add one
Please,
little piece
please,
if I could, Ken? And also, too, when you take on that responsibility, if you already have another woman, you better also understand that you can't abandon that responsibility.
Right,
So
right,
you
General.
can't be soft about this.
Damn
Like
right, damn right.
there's something General Muhammad said to me years and years ago. We sitting down, we talk, we going over scriptures, we talking about it. He turned to me and he said, I realized something, man. I said, what? He said, getting a woman is as important as buying a house. You all heard him say that before. And he was so right. Like,
right.
it's that important.
That's it.
And because what'll happen is a brother will get with a woman, already have a woman, and now be in conflict trying to take care of both women.
Right.
When you got to be straight up with it and be like, look, this is what it is. This is where I'm going, even with the new woman, so that you don't have to be under the pressure of giving up another part of your responsibility.
That's it.
Because she's still your responsibility.
That's it.
And listen, like I'm sure it's taught in all the UPK, regardless of what she do,
Right.
she's still as long as she ain't commit that adultery,
That's it.
that's your package.
That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
You got to deal with it. So you don't want to have to deal with a new woman and the old woman is being neglected and now she beefing and you not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, right.
Now she making you violate the Most High.
Right.
Right.
You don't need that. You
Yeah,
need to be able to be clear
That's it.
on what it is that you're doing.
That's
Okay.
it.
Which is why the Lord made the law. A man can have more than one woman. Yeah, you can have more than one woman, but really you can have more than one responsibility.
Damn
Right.
And you
Damn
got to
right.
keep to that
Damn
responsibility.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Lacon. Go ahead.
What y'all both were saying was so heavy. I remember a couple weeks ago, I did some research about the amount of abortions that was committed last year versus to this year. And last year was over 1 million abortions committed, and then this year, all the way up to now in May, it's over 900,000 abortions that's already been committed this year. So what you're saying is so heavy. The black woman needs to be led properly back by the black man again. So like it.
Like she need to be allowed to have them babies.
Right.
And the way she's allowed to have them babies is by having a support system of her nation so that she can have them babies. Like a lot of that abortion is out of fear of financial failure, fear of educational failure, fear of repercussions fear of repercussions from family members,
Right.
fear of all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
So if she has those things in place, then she can enjoy having that baby as opposed to running from such a important responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Right.
right. Where we going next, Lamont?
Come on, so since we were talking about women or whatever the case may be, we have a video of a brother, YN, sitting in an interrogation room about to be put in sentence for life.
Let's take a look at this.
Put me in jail for a murder charge. I'm never going to see the light of day again. Like, come on, you gotta understand. I'm 17. Y'all finna put me in jail for a murder charge. I'm never going to see the light of day again. Like, y'all, you wouldn't even try to work with me. Like, work with you now. Like, you already knew you was gonna put me in jail when you came in here. Like,
so I mean, what did you expect me to do?
man, it made it seem like I was just gonna interview me and I was gonna go home.
And again, like I said, you asked for an attorney. So
Come on,
at this point in time,
I don't want to. Come
by
on,
right,
come on, man. Please, man. Come on, man.
by
Please.
law, I cannot engage in a question and
Come
answer
on, man.
session
I'm
with
only
you.
17, man.
I
Please,
understand
man.
that.
Come on.
What are you asking me to do?
Like, can I go home, man? Like, let me. Come on.
That's up to the courts.
So I'm going down for murder charge.
Today you will, yes.
That's the part your homies don't tell you on the street.
Right.
They don't tell you about that.
That's a heavy thing there, you know what I'm saying? It's so heavy that, you know, and this, what you looking at right there is this is a product. We was just talking about broken home. This is a
Right.
product of that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, are you seeing the baby? You can hear it in his voice. You can hear the baby in his voice. You see what I'm saying? Which tells you it when they make these decisions, these young men to murder another person, whomever it may be, they ain't even thinking about doing no time. It don't even cross their mind till they sitting in the interrogation room. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? This also mindset gets pumped through the music. You see what I'm saying? Because they pumping that music of us killing each other every day. This was coming through the radio. Right. You see what I'm saying? And this is being pumped to our kids. You know what I'm saying? Lamont,
I'm talking about May.
Please.
I'm right. Like the whole philosophy of the white man's giving us that we have to kick our kids out of the crib at 18 years old is a monstrous thing in itself. Like these are still they're still we're 18, you still a child. You're a baby.
Right. You heard what he said.
Like we only went to school every day and played sports and hung out with our friends all the way up to 18 years old. We even had no real life lessons out in the real world by the time we're 18. So throwing a baby out there that's only had 4 walls and a teacher all day long,
that's it,
and friends all day long, when they get to the world, they don't know how to conduct themselves. They don't know how to do this. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to apply for a job. They don't know how to do credit. None of that stuff is not taught in school.
Yep.
So by the time we get kicked out the crib, we just getting babies thrown into a pool and say swim.
That's it.
You feel my point? And that's the white man's philosophy. They setting us up to fail.
Man, listen, 2 lives was lost. The cat he murdered and his life here. Both was lost. And once again, this is in the bloodstream of America. America ain't trying to repair you. I don't know if you noticed that, but now,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Meaning, when I say in the bloodstream, meaning America lives off our destruction.
That's right.
So if they create a broken homes and they create black men and black women to have a gender war, which you can't never have a strong nation if the damn men and women are having a goddamn gender war. It is the stupidest thing could ever. You see what I'm saying? And that's being promoted by the Christian church day and night. You know what I'm saying? To have a damn gender war. But you know what I'm saying? So, you know, to see this right here is, you know, it's insane. You see what I'm saying? Captain Duval, Mom?
Con, so what you just said was insane. It's damn near like the black man and the black woman, Latino man and Latino woman are literally in an ocean together, and somebody's trying to save a drowning person, but the drowning person is fighting. They fighting against each other. We just not working together at all.
That's it.
And because of that, then the children suffer. Then the nation suffers. Then it becomes a trend because we the most trend. Like we follow every trend except the trend that we really need to follow. So you're right, sir. That was just heavy what you said.
And this is where they want to. This is where they, at the end of the day, this is where they want to see our sons, because of course America is a country, you know what I'm saying, where they got the most people Give me right on this, Johnny. Yeah. Locked up in prison, then you could combine continents.
Right.
And they don't have as many men locked up like America do. You understand? They feed off of our pain. See what I'm saying? So you can go out there and have a podcast and play a clip like this, but unless you got the solution to the problem, it don't make no difference you talking about.
Right.
The UPK got the solution.
Damn
What is
right.
the solution? Fix the black man, fix that black woman, have them, like the scripture be one mind.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand? We first got to understand that all black women and black men should be saying this off top. The white man is the devil.
Damn right. That's right.
That's the beginning of therapy.
If you can't admit that, then we got an issue.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I just want to bring that out. Any more points on this before we move on? Because
I was just gonna say it seems like the same, not to beat down on the sisters, but it seemed like the same sisters who's kicking the quote unquote ain't shit niggas out the crib is creating ain't shit niggas. So then now it becomes a circle, a revolving circle of a man that has no criteria behind him, no foundation to build himself off of. And that's what you get out of this. Like if you don't have a father in the house to give you some type of correction, the woman ain't gonna give you no correction. She's gonna pacify you. That's what she's here for. She's here for nurturing.
That's it.
Right. That father he's gonna give you the correction you need.
That's it. But this is why too, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it off the women and put it on brothers. This is why you have to examine who you lay down in the bed with.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is why you need to court a woman and stop thinking with your lust.
Right.
You understand? Once again, we've been trained in America. Everything will go on with us is training. The white man has trained us to not think like free men, not think like a man that's trying to build up a government. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to be what? Like an animal, like a pit bull, which means a pit bull I have sex with, another pit bull, regardless to whether, you know what I'm saying, how the pit bull think or whatever. He's a dog, but you a damn man. We men. We're supposed to be spiritual above anything. We're supposed to closely examine, is this woman somebody I should marry or not? You see what I'm saying? Is this woman, ask her, do you believe in abortions? Yes, I do. I ain't touching you. You know what I'm saying? Do you see the destruction what's going on? How you feel about your people? How you feel about your father? Do you hate your father? I hate it. Then there ain't no woman for you to marry. So we got to put it back on us, you know what I'm saying, as well. You know what I'm saying, on who we should choose. But if you just thinking about the sex, you looking at the woman's body and you ain't thinking about her brain, then brother, this gonna be your fault.
Come on.
Where we at with it, priest?
Next up, we have a video of a situation that happened out here in Chicago at a gas station, that's showing the destruction of our people.
Please, let's get to it.
Hey, I'm a lady. Y'all better go ahead.
Dumbass.
Y'all get that dumbass off the car and check these hands. Dumbass bitch. What the fuck is you talking about?
Hey, hold on. Hey, what's up, bro?
My baby hit my car. All you gotta do is touch this bitch. Oh, my baby hit it. Oh, my baby hit it. Oh, my baby hit it. Hit it. I get it. Oh, my kids ain't for the move. Ain't for the move. Ain't move. Ain't for the move. Because if she hit this bad, I'm gonna drive that bitch right out of it.
Damn.
Woo! Shit.
Hey, who y'all got, ready?
Damn!
She flipped the whole truck.
Yeah! You dumbass bitch! You dumbass bitch!
Get that. Hey, we got one, baby. Hey, we got one. Hey, we got one. Look at this. She just sweet.
What's up, dumbass? Kick in, you finna lay your dumbass to jail over here. What's so black racist ass bitch? And you almost just hit my motherfucking car with my kids in. Lucky my mom, you ain't just hit because I be beating your dumb ass.
Demon fest right there.
Go ahead, bro.
I said, Sluggy, so if I could,
Yeah.
that's nothing but a demon festival right there. Like
That's it.
You know what I mean? Every foul spirit that's on our people was just on display right there. You know what I'm saying? How much our sisters hate each other, trying to be over masculine in situations. None of those sisters were showing femininity or sisterhood towards each other. There's nothing but their form of masculinity. They've seen the examples of us fighting each other, men. We fight, you know what I'm saying? We fight each other in the streets. We have done this because that's how we've been trained in this oppression.
That's right.
Now our sisters have adapted that spirit, and that's like that all leads to taking the man out of the household. Them growing, those sisters, I guarantee you, if not all, majority of them sisters in that situation, majority of the brothers and sisters in that situation grew up without a father in the home.
That's it.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
And that leads to them having all types of foul spirits on them, the wrong concepts in their mind of how to handle conflict. They have no conflict resolution skills. They have no idea how to de-escalate anything, and they do not value each other's lives in the least bit.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Look, give it up. First thing come to mind when I see that is how horrible a father, you know what I'm saying, the white man has been to us. Because that's who been our father, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going by what the Most High say to do. And so what the result is, the sister has got a that's a woman with a mental illness right there. And why are we so mentally sick? We must examine this because, of course, white people we know they sick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're sick people, man.
Right.
Look at how they started. This nation that everybody loved, you know what I'm saying, was built off the blood, you know what I'm saying, and the destruction of the Native American Indians. Took their land, killed 77 million of them. You know what I'm saying, to establish this land. And then brought us here in slavery, you know what I'm saying, and enslaved the Hispanics who were already here. So this is already a sick place. And so when our leaders decided that integration, you know what I'm saying, was the best thing for us, you know what I'm saying, now we take on the demons that they have.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Which you can see, once we take on the demons they got, that means we definitely ain't gonna love each other because they definitely hate us. You see what I'm saying? And the sisters just, you know, the scriptures say, you know what I'm saying, that what's the one that would say bring forth monsters. You see what I'm saying?
Menstruous women, sir.
Menstruous women. A menstruous woman is a woman that's unclean. You understand that? But the Lord is talking about spiritually. How do our women get unclean? From what they're being taught. Who are teaching our women the morality? Christian, like you say, General, you know where I'm going. I got to still get the Christian church. They was happy, you know what I'm saying? Get me right on this, General. They was happy to see that plantation burned down.
Yes,
right.
But I'd be happy if I seen 1 million Christian churches being burnt down. Now, I ain't telling nobody to go do that.
Nobody gonna do it, but you know that we'd be better off.
Damn right.
You know what
Damn
I mean?
right. You understand? That is the Christian church. These religions are the epitome of why we so goddamn wicked, and yet we still running in there every Sunday. It shouldn't be no black people going to no churches.
Right.
Our life would change overnight.
Right.
I just wanted to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where we going?
Next up, we have a video of 12 trying to locking up like a 10-year-old boy. He's like 9 years old, 10 years old for selling, I believe, selling Dorito chips.
Come on.
Good night.
What is y'all doing?
Guess what I'm doing.
Hey, he like a baby to me. Why you?
Guess what I'm doing.
I don't know what you doing. I just see you snatch him up off the. So what? So what's going on then?
You're stealing stuff. If you break into your house to steal something.
Nah, man. What is that? A bag of chips? So y'all treat me like a whole cold-blooded fucking killer?
Keep walking, dude. You don't even know what you're
Keep walking. I know what I just came up and see. I know the fuck I just came up and see.
Okay, what did you see?
I see y'all snatching him up the back like you're a fucking grown-ass man. Ain't he saying it wasn't him? What is y'all doing?
Crazy.
What is y'all talking about, man?
That's against the law.
What is y'all doing?
You cannot put that.
What is y'all doing? Take the fucking chips. If he stole some chips, I'll pay for him. I'll pay for him. You don't even know where he lives. Y'all just throwing him in the fucking car.
That's what they do. They come here.
What is y'all doing? Leave him alone.
No camera. That's all we can do.
He a kid.
Good night. General, you got to get me right on this one. What would make a man put handcuffs on a 10-year-old child?
Exactly. Like, what he gonna do?
Right.
Like, he's a danger. You gotta handcuff his hand.
Right.
Once again, the white man is the devil about it.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna pay for all this by the hand of the Most High. That is infuriating, man. That's why that brother. And listen, that brother screaming on the tape is the only solace that we have at this time. Is the fact that somebody will speak up and say something about it. He might have been selling stolen chips. He might have been brought into a criminal life from a young age and all that.
Damn right.
But the worst part that we know in our soul is the brutality of Esau.
That's
Like Esau brutalizes us with the false idea that he's trying to stop crime,
Right.
or he's trying to fix something.
Right.
If he was trying to stop crime or fix something, he'd arrest half of the cops in that precinct.
Right.
If he was trying to stop crime or fix something, he'd arrest all them politicians that sold us out and made deals with rich people to steal everything that should be coming to us.
Right.
He'd be locking them up. You
Right.
understand? Like he comes to the middle of a complete shithole of a city and lock up a 10-year-old kid with handcuffs. You ain't here for that. You here to just brutal. You here to be a Roman centurion.
Right.
You here to brutalize the poor and destroy the poor.
Man, right. Hold on 1 second. My father's out. I'm coming to you next because I want.
I think Ryan got his hand up first.
Oh, okay. It's locked.
Come on.
Go
What
ahead,
y'all?
Ryan.
Come. So
You
what
got
y'all?
the mic?
Come, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say what y'all breaking down so heavy is because the white man is an expert of attacking people that don't know how to defend themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say that the man is so diabolical, he don't care how old or how young you are.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you look back in the history about all the lynchings that the white man done, the white man had done over 5,000 lynchings in the span of 1 year.
That's it.
A majority of them was young men. Young men who was like 17, 15, hell, 13 years old.
That's it.
Emmett Till, you know what I'm saying? Emmett
Right.
Till, you know what I'm saying, is a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? The white man, he's an expert of harming children.
Right.
And that's like a serial killer right there.
Damn right. Damn
Serial
right.
killers, they harm innocent children.
Right.
That's what white man is. He's a serial killer. That I yield.
Damn right. Damn right. Give it up. Give it up. My father's out.
He said that was for.
Oh, that was for Ryan. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, Tabak. Let me get Kazai one. I'm coming to you next. Go ahead, Kazai one.
I just want to be only because it's on the topic.
Please.
I just wanted to see if I could bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 50, and this is exactly what we see in this video right now.
Yeah, right.
We seeing our captivity and you know the things that we supposed under Commander Yahanna we fixing right now with black people.
That's it.
Deuteronomy 28 chapter 28 verse 50.
Come on.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Damn right.
No, you
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that. Where you that fit the white man to a T. A man that he don't got the love for you that you've been hoping that he would have.
Right.
You know, we've been here in America and been hoping one day that white people would accept us. You know what I'm saying? And hoping one day that they would love us. And brother, that is a person with a psychotic mindset. Talking about us. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get love from a people. It ain't built in them for them to have no love for you. Once again, our leaders drop the ball, you know what I'm saying, and trying to join us to a people, you know what I'm saying, that hate us. And the worst thing you could ever have happen is have a people that hate you police your community.
That's right.
That 10-year-old right there, no matter what he done, imagine if the UPK came across the team, we ain't gonna put him in no cuffs. We gonna sit him, talk to him, but there's no reason to put him in the cuffs. You see what I'm saying? But the white man don't have a conscience for your pain, black people. This is what we trying to show you. This is why we having this discussion. This is why we got the round table. We trying to wake you up to something that's been put you to sleep. What didn't put you to sleep? Once again, these religions, man. The Lord say all through the Bible, General, get me right on this. Wake up.
That's right.
Why would the Most High tell a man that's already physically woke to wake up? Because you sleep to what's going on in you, man.
Yep.
You don't even understand this oppression unless you come across, you know what I'm saying, this school and get properly educated. I just want to say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Damn right. Come on, Tabakadai. Please.
Look at the bestiality of the white man, you know, how they holding, you know, the children of their so-called Hispanic and put it back in cages like a dogs.
That's right.
All right. How they hold them there. They have no respect for them, you know. So let me add something like this, all right?
Please.
When the they promote, you know, big immigration, you know, from the South American countries, you know, with the false promises of giving, you know, residents in this country, you know, and housing and all of that. And after that, you know, when Donald Trump, you know, got into power, start to deport them back and hold those children, you know, and put them back, you know, in foreign countries like my country, El Salvador, you know.
Yeah, right. Big shout out to El Salvador.
Yeah. And supposed the jail system is supposed to be criminals for their own country. What in the heck, you know, they are holding Venezuelans over there? By the way, the Venezuelans are from the tribe of Asher, sir.
Damn
You
right.
know, we all the 12 tribes, you know, we are steadily under attack, you know, from this business, which is the white man, you know, the so-called devil of the Bible, right?
Damn right. Damn right. Hold, get back to my hold the mic, Tabak, if you could, you know what I'm saying? Because we about to wrap this up in a second. This brother's one of our brothers from El Salvador. We stand with the Hispanics and all their pain and struggle.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Here we
Damn
all
right.
one family. Could you give would you say a message to the El Salvadorians and other Hispanics about what ISUBK is about under Commander Jenny Yahanna? Can you speak in Spanish for those who may be listening?
Kind of one kind, sir.
Que somos de las 10 tribus del norte, y que el día de ahora, bajo las órdenes del general Yahanna, que nos representa, es tiempo de volver a nuestra realidad, que nosotros, todos los hispanos, los morenos de Estados Unidos, somos las 12 tribus de Israel, las verdaderas 12 tribus, y solamente aquí, en el libre suplicado, vamos a obtener la salvación que la Biblia promueve.
Listen, I don't know what he said, but I clap because it sounds good to me. In the spirit, I know it was the right thing.
That's lesson for all of us. We better learn Spanish. We
That's
get
straight
to all
up
the
fact.
tribes.
Damn right, Joe. Captain Baba.
Hey, Salaki, sir, I would be remiss. I got a call from Houston from Captain Yatazak.
Big shout out to Captain Yatazak. You understand?
And he asked me if I could ask the general a question about something that's going on.
Please.
Okay, the water, sir. So he says, how does the things going on with Israel and Iran play into Bible prophecy? Of course, because of the bombing, the bombardment that they're thinking that they're about to do for the next 72 hours, I believe.
It's like giving General Yahanna a slice of cheese. I live in the spirit. I see you get done with the napkin. You see the ease? I mean,
we had to save the dessert for last.
I get greedy about it. Yeah, right.
Sir, you had your entree, sir. Dessert is served.
Please.
For those of you that may not know out there, the Israeli government, the IDF, their military is talking about bombing Iran for 72 hours to take out all their nuclear sites.
Dang.
They're talking about it might commence like Tuesday, right after the holidays, they may go into the bombing. So now it's two ways it could go. They could just bomb it, and then the Iranians bomb them back with something, and then it'd be over and it's a wrap up. But there's a lot of factors in it, and I hope that the Lord is taking it to the next level. First of all, now this could all be BS that they did it undercover. Donald Trump turned his back on Netanyahu because they had a spy in the White House. They caught the spy, and so Donald Trump got mad, went and made a deal with Hamas to get the American hostage out, and left the Israeli hostages in there. So he got the American hostage out, which made the Israeli people mad as hell. Like, why Netanyahu, he got the American out, why you ain't getting our people out?
Right.
You just steady bombing and killing and starving these people. So it may put them up in an uproar. Then on the other side, if Iran gets bombed, this is where it comes into biblical prophecy. If Iran gets bombed, this is what could happen. I can't say it will happen this time, but I pray it does, because it brings us closer to Christ ruling the earth like he should.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? And that is Salakia. And that is Iran is allies with Russia. According to the Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, and Joel, the 3rd chapter, Russia could back Iran for an invasion into Saudi Arabia. Because remember, the scripture said Gog and Magog will enter into D-Dan.
Right.
So if they back the Iranians and the Iranians invade Saudi Arabia, it's game on, because that invasion, it'll be the Iranians attacking Saudi Arabia from the north, and the Houthis are their allies, which will be attacking from the south.
Right.
If they attack them from both sides, it could shut down the oil market in the world.
Right.
If they cut off the Straits of Hormuz, can nothing get out of there. It's already barely can get through there now.
Right.
So much so that the United States had to bomb the Houthis to open up that that waterway, so they can get their ships out.
Right.
If it goes down and it gets serious and they invade Saudi Arabia, it's going to mean major losses in oil, which is going to mean all these countries are going to have to rely on their own reserves, and they're going to all start going into the Middle East, because of course, don't nobody want the other man to take over those countries and get control of that oil.
Right.
Which means they got to all go down there on both sides, which means we start walking towards that third world war.
Right.
And now all them nations got to get involved. All the Arab nations got to get involved. Trump just threatened tariffs on England, on Europe. So they pissed off. They just got together. The king just got together with Canada to tell Canada, don't worry about Donald Trump. We got you.
Right.
So they all trying to bring themselves together to strengthen themselves against this whole dag war. Now, on the flip side, on a sidebar of that battle, that African leader, what's the name of that country? Yeah, exactly. What's the name of the country? Burkina Faso. He's now ruling that country. America, as they said, tried to assassinate him like 18 times already. They didn't get him yet, or get him. It's hard. This is hard to get him up in their way yet. He's backed by the Russians. Now he just invaded the Ivory Coast, which is the country below him next to Ghana. So now he got two countries he's dealing with, which means the Russians is backing those Africans to go over there and take over those countries.
Right.
Now here's the thing. The reason that it's so important that they take over those countries is because that's where the cobalt is, down in them African countries. The cobalt is used for all these electric cars, all these drones that they got, all of these different weapon systems that they got. They're using cobalt as battery power. AI, quantum, them quantum computers, all the new stuff, everything is running with this cobalt. There's only two places you can get it, in Africa and Haiti. That's why they invading Haiti the way they are.
Right.
So now, as the game stirs up, they about to get cut off from their technology. They about to get cut off from the oil. Get ready for rolling blackouts.
Right.
Get ready for cyber attacks, because they can't invade right away, especially with nukes on the table. So they got to use the spooks to go in over the computers and shut down people's, clean water, people's electricity. All of that's going to get ready to get started. So if we're going to sit back and we're going to watch, when the Israelis bomb Iran, what Iran does next is going to tell the whole tale. Now, Iran might back all the way down. And something else that's this, if it ain't BS, which with the U.S., you never know. But if they bomb Iran, the United States already made a deal. Trump made a deal with Iran saying that they could have nuclear power as long as they do not make weapons. That's what Trump said. The Israelis said, we'll go at it alone.
Right.
So they're going to bomb Iran on their own, which means if Trump is real about it, it could get into a real mess, because, of course, Iran got just as much power as Israel has without the United States.
Right.
And just as much power as Israel has with Russia.
Right.
They could all get drawn in over it. Everything starts shutting down. We walking ourselves right on to the ships come in, and we get up out of here. That's the hope, just to answer his question. That's where we hoping to go. You know what I'm saying? But the stage is for sure set to say that this could happen. And another thing that says that this could happen is the fact that examine how they're coming at us.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, in both during the time of the Romans and during the time of Moses, we were taken out of their lands as we got closer to their brutality.
Mm.
The more they killed and brought brutality on us, the closer we became to coming up out of here. That's why as you see these times get harder and harder, get more motivated. Don't fold under the pressure of what's going on, no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't walk by sight.
Is that why Christ said, "Be ye not troubled"?
Be ye not troubled.
When you see these things
when you
happen.
see these things happen,
God, so-
because we don't walk by sight. We ain't going by what we see.
Right.
We gonna trust in the Most High in these scriptures. That's how we get delivered up out of here. You understand?
That's right.
That's how. Always remember how David killed Goliath.
Right.
He did it with a slingshot, which was like a joke in them days. Cats had this. He said Goliath's spear was as a weaver's beam, which is that long ass stick they use to weave with, to make that stick they use to weave with to bring fabric about. That's how long his spear was, and he got his ass whooped by a slingshot. And that shit was symbolic of what the Lord could really do. You know what I mean? If the Lord is with you, it don't matter. The other side is done.
Right.
That's why it's right before you make any move. It's right to be sure the Lord's with you, because guarantee you, if you rely on your might or your numbers or whatever it is, your gun or whatever it is you got, and you ain't right with it, you gonna lose, and it's gonna cost you dearly.
Right.
You won't be right with the Most High in whatever the case is, and that is why after serving this time, Most High in Christ, after serving this time in captivity, we are right to be delivered. We took our punishment for 400 and something years, and we've been brutalized for that time. So now we on a winning team, because by default we have the Lord on our side.
Right.
All we got to do is not mess up what we got by going back into the evils of the world.
Right.
So he totally on our side. We done took the punishment. Our slate is clean. Christ died for us to get free from the sins that we committed.
Right.
Our slate is clean. When you become born again in this truth, your slate is cleaner than you think. The Lord is with you more than you think, because he's counting your slate clean. Now you walk righteously, brother. The Lord is standing with you. And in that faith, we should not doubt that the Lord cannot decide to, like he said, to cut that time short and drag these nations into the third world's war. Like Trump and them think they could do whatever they want. They could wake up, brother, tomorrow and have to send all them white babies in green uniforms to the other side of the world. It ain't gonna be too funny then.
Right.
White people ain't gonna talk too much shit there.
Right.
You understand? When they babies going over there,
That's right.
you understand? And they, you know what I mean? And they dragging them through them streets, stripping them butt naked and dragging them through them streets because of the madness that these people done created. It ain't gonna be funny no more. It ain't gonna be nigga this and nigga that. It's gonna be nigga come help me.
That's it.
You know what I mean? That's what it'll be there. And just a real quick side note that they may not know, that what led one of the things that gave Moses the power that he had was he was a war general even before the Lord called him. That's why they was raising him up to be over the whole kingdom of Egypt.
Most people don't bring that. Most people don't bring that part out that this cat was a military war general.
Yes, he was.
He just wasn't a cat with a stick.
No, he wasn't.
Talking about peace and love.
That's them cartoons. That is not who Moses was.
This cat was a war general.
He was a war general, and he was strategic and so good that the Egyptians were being invaded by what we call today Sudan. And they was about to take over the country. They had half of the country from what they call northern Egypt, but it's really from the south.
Right.
And they was coming up with their armies, and they was wiping the Egyptian armies out. So they had their back against the wall. We got to read the story one day. I'm gonna bring it out. And so what happened is, now remember, this is at the time when they hating the Israelites. Everything we read in the scriptures, they hating us, and so many of us, they don't know what to do. So they mad as hell. And in the records, it says, though they hated us, they were happy to humble themselves and ask Moses for help. And so they went to Moses and said, man, these people killing us, man.
Right.
They about to take over the country. we need your help.
Mm.
Moses went and got us out of Goshen, which is Cairo, what you call Cairo today,
Right.
or close to Cairo, a city called Avaris, if you want to look it up. And he went and got us together in the army, took us down there. We wiped them Hamites the hell out, pushed them all the way out of that part of Egypt. And the scriptures, I mean, not the scriptures, but the records tell you that after we got them all out of Egypt, it said they were now happy to go back to hating him as they did before.
Good. Nice.
He had just saved their country,
Right.
and they went right back to hate him.
Hating him.
Still kept him in his high position,
Right.
until they found out about the murdering of the Egyptian.
Right.
But was happy to hate him,
Yeah.
just like they did before.
Yeah, you know what that remind me of? How in World War I, we went and fought and helped the United States, and then when the soldiers came back over here, they burned us in our uniform.
There you go. Like watch. Now you seen all this. Everybody voted for Donald Trump. You see all the hatred, all the racism. Now let's see when the Lord step it up and they had to go to war. Watch how they treat us.
Right.
They're gonna treat us with, oh, you brothers, y'all always been athletic, man. We always knew y'all had it, while trying to send our sons to die.
Right.
And if we go in our ignorance, when we do come back, they're gonna go right back to hating us the same way. Y'all wasn't no real soldiers, just like you brought out. Salaki.
Just Salaki, General. You know, I don't know if, well, all of us was alive when that happened. That happened in 9/11. Remember the racial disparities we was going through in America right before 9/11? And then once the towers hit, it was like, oh, they did. Black man hit the planes. They like, oh, we got a brother on the plane with us. They felt in
yes, they did.
And comforted by us being there. And then we made America's problems our problems. We went over there to the Middle East with them cats and were the most valiant warriors on that field.
Hell yeah.
As soon as it was done, they treated us like trash again.
Yes, they did. You're right. That Desert Storm, we went over there. We was the storm. We was Desert Storm. We went over there and rocked their whole world out. You see that brother they got on there that's a sniper that's always talking about all them kills he got. They promoted the white boy. Made a movie about the white boy, made him like he was such a killer. But the brother, they ain't did shit for him yet. He's sitting up there with that cat. They supposed to make a blockbuster off of him. All them cats he killed and and how he laid out all that killing. But of course, he ain't gonna get that same credit because that's America. America is Egypt. Everything that we experience in Egypt, we experiencing it right here in America. So as we get closer to this time, listen, for me, I'm ecstatic about it, man. I said, man, shoot, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? This place here, boy. Man, we was talking about this in the 80s, and people was like, we was crazy niggas with 3 heads.
Right.
And y'all know, because they tell y'all all the time, man, y'all get a job, man. Y'all are bugging. But now, we know now. Y'all see we wasn't lying. And now them prophecies coming to pass, and thanks be to the Lord it is. So just to wrap up real quick on what he was saying. So that's what we looking for. If they even go in, if they go in on Tuesday and they bomb Iran, we want to see what Iran does to them. Because Iran got that hypersonic missile that they can't shoot down. So let's see if Iran uses it. Let's see if they kick back on them. And if they do, let's see how much damage is done. Because remember the first time, not too long ago, about a month or two ago, this happened again before. But they both was real measured in how they went at it. They made sure they didn't destroy each other's land. It was more symbolic, like, yeah, we answering you. But this time around, it might not be symbolic. It might be a real attack, which means a real response, which means let's see what happens next. And if it kick off, oh man, the whole Middle East gonna be a mess. And we're going to be shouting from the rooftop. We told y'all that's the biblical prophecy. Yes, your lights is off, nigga. The supermarket empty, goddamn. We going to be, you know what I'm saying?
With a cup of tequila.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you going to have some.
I'm going to have the bottle in my hand. I ain't using no cup. Be out there like what? You don't know? You've been saying it 20 years, nigga. I'll be arrogant and I'll be showing my ass.
That's right.
Come on, man.
That's right.
You gonna know we was right on it.
Damn right, sir.
Lacombe, last question. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Go ahead.
And wait, before you go to that question, can I just say one more quick thing? And if I could, y'all, I could just tell you about a little personal pain. Let me tell you something, Mike. It ain't easy leading men. That's not no easy thing. You asking men to go out in war where they could get locked up. They could get killed. They could get in a riot. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to be is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So one, you got to start out being a man of faith. And then once you become a man of faith, you better be strong because they gonna doubt sometimes. They gonna come to you like you know what, and you gonna have to be strong to answer them, brother. And that's why for me this is a beautiful thing, because for me it's vindication. If I ever had any doubt, or if another man had any doubt, this vindication. This shit is real, and everything the Lord said in them scriptures is real. And not only that, He gave it to us. You understand? He gave it to us, like that scripture said, like Christ said, "I thank thee, Lord, for not giving this to the wise and prudent, but to giving it on to the babes." That's us, and we got it, and we gone with it.
Damn right.
All right. Salam. I just want to add that part.
Yeah, no, so wait, you got it, General. Lacombe.
Kind of one con, sir, and the water for that too, sir. My question would be based off of what you just said, sir. Would it be safe to say that whenever this start kicking off the way we hope it to kick off, would it be safe to say that also the other prophecy in Isaiah where the nations will start to go back to their homelands, would it be safe to say that it'll start to take place around that time?
That's already started. Check out your Chinese restaurants, which is something that never took. They was recession proof. It get bad as hell as they want to get out here in the streets. The Chinese restaurants still stayed open across the whole country and still didn't hire the nigga. You know what I mean? Even though it was poverty all over, they shutting down now. You know what I'm saying? I'm up there in Philly, man. Call up the Chinese restaurant. They telling me, yeah, we gonna send your order. But we just want you to know in 2 weeks we closing down. We going to China. I said, y'all shutting down? They said, yeah, we're gonna go back to China now. I said, okay. Yeah, I said, good luck. I knew, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't know if y'all heard a couple weeks ago, I was talking to the brothers and they mentioned a black-owned Chinese restaurant.
Yeah,
like that's getting ready to happen. The Chinese, they're gonna leave the whole store. You're gonna have to now move in and you know, Willie's Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, man. That's which is
biblical.
Which is biblical, right?
Biblical.
Which is what's going. So it's starting. You know what I mean? East Indians gonna follow. Pakistanis gonna follow. You know what I mean? The Arabs is definitely getting up out of here. You know what I'm saying? With all this going on, especially if it break out in that Middle East. Right. And them stores is all gonna be shutting down. Economy going left. You understand? But in the midst of all of that, Christ's gonna do what he always do, which is have guided us to do all the things that he wants us to do as a nation. And of course, the pain gonna bring all the brothers and sisters. Everybody gonna wake up in that pain. Right. Everybody gonna want to know. Somebody tell us what's going on. And for the first time, you're about to realize and experience how valuable it was for you to stand out there in camp. Like it was more valuable than just your words. Right. It was valuable as a sign, like the Lord said it would be, so that they would know in this time who to go listen to. You know what I mean? Who's been out here trying to deliver us? Who's been trying to get us to hear them? They gonna remember in your pain, you gonna listen. In your pain, you gonna say, yo, what these cats been talking about? They've been out here for years. And when they stand there and you tell them everything that's going on in their life and why you've been telling them, and you've been saying it for 20 years, it's gonna dawn on them. Right. This is the truth. I got to come into. I got to serve the Lord. That's it. And brother, you're gonna start to see the whole Bible come together before your eyes, and our whole nation gonna rise all over the world. And it's just gonna be a beautiful thing. Right. It's a lot right.
So they look on. Man, listen. I like to thank Manager Yahanna again. You know what I mean? I like to always when I bring them on, give them an honorary salute.
Salam.
You know what I'm saying? Alawakbar Yah, Barak.
Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Thumb.
Right. Man, it's been one hell of a show, amazing show. Like always, appreciate you for coming out
Hey,
again.
appreciate you having me, Cap.
Anything closing words, gentlemen?
No, you close, please.
You know what I mean? Listen, you do catch General Yahanna every Monday night on the Black Watch. You understand? 9 p.m. Eastern, you know what I'm saying? Where you see how he rocked this show out. He rocks it out every Monday night on the Black Watch. Subscribe to his channel, check him out. Check out everything Commander General Yahanna doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is our leader. You understand that we supposed to be following here on earth. Why? Because this is a brother that understands Christ perfectly. You see what I'm saying? I just like to say that, you know what I'm saying? And this is a brother that he should be on I just wanted to say this. He should be on every popular Black and Hispanic podcast. Y'all bringing clowns on there, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To talk about nothing. You see what I'm saying? And that don't have a solution at all. Why the hell Jenny and Hannah ain't on every Black podcast, major podcast that's out there with Black people? Because this brother got the solution to our Black and Hispanic problems.
Right.
So let's get serious about what we're doing. As we sitting here talking, I get a news feed that just say Russia launches the largest air attack on Ukraine. As you sitting here talking about the third war, we better, Blacks and Hispanics, you better get your mind and your spirit prepared on what does this third world war mean for us.
Damn right.
It don't mean the same thing that it mean to white people. For white people, this is the end of their power.
That's
For
right.
you about to inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
You understand? Which is important. It's important to understand because for so long they made us believe our kingdom in heaven is when we die. When we dead.
Right.
When you dead, once you dead, ain't no heaven. Ain't you going up to no heaven, having no kingdom, man. Our kingdom gonna be built right here on earth. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say that, man.
Can I just real quick
Please
add
get
one
down,
thing to
Joe.
you?
Yes, sir.
And if everybody noticed, the church is silent. Like, while this place falling apart, they got nothing to say because they was selling us a dream to be here.
That's
it. And now that dream going out the window, they quiet as a mouse now. So you see what's going down. Like the scripture said, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that which followeth.
So like always, man, I want to give it up, to my co-hosts that rock it out with me every week. You can also catch us every Friday night right here on the Round Table of Truth, 8 p.m. Central, man. We get it on every night. If you're watching here, also make sure you please subscribe to our channel. Get our subscribers up, you know what I mean, so we can get out there more and more. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? That's our next goal. And we're trying to get on a major level to get this truth out.
Damn
so
right.
with that being said, Officer Lamar Yala, I want to thank this brother. Any announcements?
Like you just said, make sure to go follow and subscribe to all the Round Table of Truth, Real Nigga University channels that we have. If you want to make a donation, the link is in the chat. We appreciate all the support. It's going to go right back into the Black, Hispanic, Native Indian communities because that's what we do this for. You understand? And make sure to catch us. We will be in Columbus, Ohio. You understand? With Captain Hadaria Allah breaking. Captain Napatazar, my bad.
Yeah.
You understand? This weekend to break ground in Columbus, Ohio.
That's right.
You understand? Make sure also to get ready for the North Carolina cookout coming up July 1st to the 3rd. You understand? They will be there. And then, of course, the Midwest Fire Weekend will be right after that, July 31st to August 3rd as well.
Right.
You understand? Make sure to show your support. Come out. We're going to have a great time like we do every year under Commander General Yahanna, name of the Lord.
That's it.
You understand? So make sure to do that as well. We can never forget. Make sure to pay your tithes.
That's right.
God knows we need that cheddar.
With that.
That's it. Appreciate you, brother. I also want to give it up to my host that rock it out with me every week. To my far left, Officer Yaradon. You understand? Go ahead, plug what you need to plug, please.
Yeah, if you're looking for any merch, go to diversitymall.com. Any t-shirts, jackets, the whole nine.
Well, I want to capitalize on that. Big up, give him a hand. You understand? If I could, I was a bizarre one because you showing this badass. Y'all see this shirt? Put it first. Get a journal.
Yo, man.
This journal got on.
Make the whole head
Listen, do not get caught wearing this sweater or shirt if you are not a real nigga. It's not for you. I'm telling you not. Yaradon wants your money, but he do not want you to get hurt wearing this jacket.
Right.
Because somebody go think you're a real nigga and find out that you ain't. You understand? We also get this brother's jacket, man. Look at that, man. You understand? Look at that. That's official right there. You understand? So I just want to highlight that. You know what I'm saying? Real Nigga University. Officer Yahanna came up with a design, and then I believe Officer Yatazaka, New York, started. You and him came together to make the jackets, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. And once again, coming from Commander General Yahanna's influence, you know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And so with that being said, I also want to give it up to Officer Mayad. You understand? For rocking it out. Anything you want to say, Mayad?
Yeah, Khan, if I could, sir.
Please.
You know what I mean? Tune in every Saturday all across the world because UPK is worldwide. Every Saturday for the Sabbath service. You know what I mean? No matter where you're at, no matter what city you're in, we you hold the Lord's Sabbath service where we read the scriptures from Genesis to Revelations. We rock it out in the ancient Hebrew. Then we give you the English translation. So if you want to see the history of our people, like Commander General Yahanna's talking about with things with Moses, you want to see Moses, you want to see Joshua, you want to see David and how it correlates to our times. You can get a proper understanding by tuning into the Sabbath service, you know what I'm saying, which is mandatory for our people, and also getting that breakdown.
Damn right. Give it up. Give it up. I also want to give big up to Officer Kazawan for filling in for Officer Iowa Lum. Right. Any closing words, Kazawan?
Just humble to be amongst the brothers, man. I appreciate being on the podcast today. So
Most High, great brother, hand. You understand? And again, if you're sick and he don't clear you, you can't come over there. You got to get. Because the brothers want to call me. You know, trying to get me to clear up. You got to go to the medical department. Yeah, man. With that being said, I also want to give it up to my badass technical team in here doing that work. These brothers, some listen, I'm trying to get them on come at your technical team. Hey, get with them, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, your team had it for a minute. Y'all was killing. I just had to sit down with my team. They broke out on y'all. I ain't gonna lie. But I hear your team coming back now, rolling hard.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Damn right.
beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
If you could, gentlemen, who got on your technical team down there? I'd like to highlight them brothers.
Yeah, good. The water.
Yeah.
Let me run. Starting off, big shout out to Captain Mashak Mayan handling the video. Super bad. He got a whole team of his own.
That's right.
Getting down. Kazak Ahmad, Barack out there. They all of them slamming. That's the DC posse. They all in there getting it down. Then up in Philly, you got a whole nother crew. I hope I ain't miss anybody. If I did, forgive me. You got my main four cats that roll hard. Officer Marah, Officer Yadiah. You know Yadiah gets down as well.
Damn right.
Officer Mathamyard and Officer Ibad Hayah, not in that order.
Damn
so
right.
that's the other team up in there.
Damn right.
Yeah, so they get it on too.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Damn right.
And there's probably a couple more I'm probably missing, but if I did, forgive me. You know what I mean? But they definitely all work hard.
Damn right.
They be getting it in.
Most High Christ.
Damn right.
Man, we gonna give it up. You know what I mean? Officer Ramawan, get a brother a hand.
That's right.
One of the ones, the two. And his right hand man, Officer Ra'ash Karab. You understand?
Right.
We got a lot of brothers in here tonight, so I ain't going name for name, you know what I'm saying? But I will highlight, you know what I'm saying, Captain DeBar Moff in Milwaukee.
Damn right.
All the brothers in here from Chicago as well. And big shout out to all the sisters that made this wonderful breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Wow, you know what I'm saying? This mimosa, you know what I'm saying, got me right. And with that, man, I'm Captain Marquardt, under Commander Jenny Yahanna.
That's right.
In another edition of the Round Table Truth. We see you next Friday. We out. Shalom. Keep it around. It's like
Cap.
Good.
There you go. There you go. Say goodbye 3 times. Mouth still open. Mouth all night. You hear that? Mouth all night. That's the problem. This is why you can't fix your heart. Now imagine you married to her.
I humbly accept that, you know what I'm saying? The water to your brother, you know what I mean? appreciate that. So that means when y'all put that up, that you don't come in that office unless you authorize. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a dog and then put it in there. That's gonna keep everybody out of my office.
You got me out of one. I'm out of there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Doc. All right.
We all.
Yeah, we off there.
That's why your father wasn't around. Your father wasn't around because your mama's mouth didn't get crossed. And your father left, and then now all the sisters ain't got, they don't know how to be raised by a woman. I thought she was leaving. She said she ain't have enough time. She said goodbye, it ain't time. But this is the real spirit of the Christian church. I'm going to tell you, get hold of that. Y'all hold what you got. Somebody else get me. When Paul said he don't give a woman to usurp authority. I'm going to show you straight up in the Bible. Black woman, your job is not to be a preacher. First of all, a woman is not supposed to go into the temple on her monthly. How you going to have your period and you sitting up in the temple talking about here's God's word? What the hell is wrong with you? When God said that you unclean when you on your month. So that tell you right there, you ain't supposed to be no priest.
ISUPK.
Well, let me finish. You asked the question. Don't get Christian on me. The whole problem with the Christian church is that they are the accusers of black people. When the Christian church got to stop blaming black people for their problems in America. Being on drugs is not black people's problem when the government is pouring dope in America by the truckload. And it's not black people's problem. Then you turn around and say, well, you shouldn't have took the drugs. That's what Christians say. They say you shouldn't have took the drugs. You know what? I shouldn't have took the drugs. But you know what? I happen to not have an education because they put 50 kids in my class. I happen to not have a decent lunch because they didn't feed me because my mother couldn't get a damn job. They oppress you and destroy you, and then when you fail in life, they say, see, you black people got to work hard. You got to try hard. You like to party too much. When all of that is a rotten, stinking lie. This white man has been controlling your social life for the last 100 years, man. Everything you do, he controls. And let me finish. I'm going. Hey, I didn't tell you come out here late. You hang out here late. See, that's the problem with you Christians. First of all, you black women, God said this. God, see that? God said this. God said, I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man. Don't cut me off again. All right, don't do it no more. Obey God. Obey God. All right then, let's act right now. Here's the problem. The problem is this. The Christian church teaches black women to hate black people. And because of it, yes it does. And because of it, black men get disenfranchised and they leave the church. And then guess what kind of black man comes in the church? You know, homosexuals. Like, ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. When you open up the Bible, every prophet, every priest were all men, and they were all heterosexual men. When you go to church, it's filled with homosexual men and black women. Something wrong. It ain't adding up. You might if you be patient and be silent. You might, but if you disrespect me, I'm not. You are doing that. I know you don't think you are, but you are. You are completely disrespecting me. Yes, you are. You don't need to, but you've been taught that in church, which is the problem, lovely lady. The problem, lovely lady, is you've been taught in church to not have discipline. You see, that's the problem. It is. You see, you still talking. The Lord said, be silent. That's what God said. You know, yeah, to women. You're a woman, ain't you? Then be silent. I know. You see that? You don't want to obey God. You go to church. You see the problem? That's the whole problem right there. And let me tell you something else. Now, let me tell you something you black women don't understand. You black women want to understand the problem. Shut your damn mouth and let black men do their thing. That's how you solve the problem. Or shut your damn mouth and let black men get it. Like, you always got your mouth open when fixing black people is men's business. It is not woman's business. You understand? Now you ready to go. See that? That's the problem with your churches. See the problem with your churches? Your problem with your churches is that they teach black women to be monsters. And that's why we got to re-educate you black women. Black women disrespect black men and don't even know they're disrespecting the black men. Ain't nobody else interrupting me out here. Ain't nobody else. Other people got questions, but they patient and wait. But you Christians that go to the church, you blame black people for everything. While you bringing homosexuals in your church, you destroying the whole fabric of God's teaching. But meanwhile, strong black men. Now you ain't seen another strong black man on a street corner in 20 years. You think you black women would shut the hell up one day and say, you know what? There's some strong black men out here saying something. Let me shut the hell up and see what the hell they got to say. But not you Christian women. Every black man got to be punked under you. That's the only way you can deal with a black man. You gotta punk that black man. And let me tell you something else. If it ain't a lie, shut your mouth. If it ain't a lie, shut your mouth. Then goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. That's it. There you go. There you go. Say goodbye 3 times, mouth still open. Mouth all night. You hear that? Mouth all night. That's the problem. This is why you can't fix your house. Now imagine you married to her. You got to go home and deal with that mouth every night. You will lose your damn mind. You will be out here smoking crack. You be like, bro, you need to get off some drugs. You be like, no, I ain't going home. Not to that mouth. That's the whole problem. Right. That's why your father wasn't around. Your father wasn't around because your mama's mouth didn't get clogged. And your father left, and then now all the sisters they don't know how to be raised by the woman. I thought she was leaving. She said she ain't have enough time. She said goodbye 3 times. But this is the real spirit of the Christian church. And that's why black men, I'm going to tell you, get hold of that. Y'all hold what you got. Somebody else get me when Paul said he don't give a woman to usurp authority. I'm going to show you straight up in the Bible. Black woman, your job is not to be a preacher. First of all, a woman is not supposed to go into the temple on her monthly. How you gonna have your period and you sitting up in the temple talking about here's God's word? What the hell is wrong with you? When God says that you unclean when you on your month. So that tells you right there, you ain't supposed to be no priest. So how in the hell you gonna be in the podium talking about you the pastor of some church telling men how to rule their life and you a woman? Why the hell you don't learn what God says for real? Don't hope, and then you go to church.